Hi. Usually I've got music going, for these things, but certain platforms seem to have an issue with me playing the music I usually play in the backgrounds. I don't know if anyone goes back and watches like the Twitch VODs or whatever, but they're like, they mute the first like 10 minutes where I have the just starting thing, so I'm gonna have to reach out and figure that out because I have no idea why. I paid for the license for like the voice changer and stuff, so it should be fine. It was fine, now it's apparently not, so what are you gonna do? How are you? We made it to the end of the week. Would you look at that? Wow. Didn't think we'd come this far. I'm gonna turn this way so you don't see my printer in the bowl. I didn't think we'd make it. Thank you for the follow, glorious Bowser. You scared the crap out of me. Sorry I wasn't sure how to give some love. I'm gonna lurk and watch while I eat. Come hang out sometime. I'll send my community. Aww. Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just gonna talk. That's all I've got is talking today. But thank you. You gave me a heart attack. That's the joy of Twitch and surprises in real time. Did you have a good week? I hope so. I hope you had a good week. That's such a sweet message for you to say. I appreciate that a lot. I really do. Thank you. I'll have to go follow you, give you a follow and, in this together and whatnot, so thank you. But yeah, I had a pretty good week, other than yesterday. My power was out for 11 hours, and I have a 6-foot-long boa constrictor, and I live in freaking Michigan. The mitten, like right here, like palm, backhand, I don't know, which, oh my god, so much has happened this week, alright? And don't worry, there's a theme. Somewhere, I'm sure. We'll dig it out of the trash somewhere. There's a theme somewhere. So I didn't stream yesterday. Sorry we didn't get to play Buddy Simulator. I know. I'm in it for the lore too. But, gosh, we'll get there. Now we know we need the red mushrooms. I'm not saying I'm going to go back and scout every piece of land. But I'm not opposed. Maybe I'll do that in my free time. That won't make you guys watch me go through all the lands, but what if I find lore? Well, duh, yeah, no, he'll have to fight, he'll have to go with me, I guess. Like a little backpack of friends. Yeah, no, so, anyway, so my power's out, right? It's like 40 degrees, she's a boa constrictor, from not Michigan. So, I get a blanket, I wrap it around her, and she's, frozen. A frozen snakesicle. Poor kid. So I wrap her up in the blanket, and then in my car, because it was wintertime, of course, I had these like hand warmer things, in case I ever get stuck in the snow and I had to like dig out my tires or something. I could heat my hands with these things. So I'm like, oh, brilliant idea. I am back. I'm gonna tell you about my week, and then we're gonna go on to a theme of something. It's deep. Today's gonna be deep. Today's gonna be deeper than a deep thing. A deep thing. Anyway. But yeah, so we like it deep. We do. Man, when you're just like fist first in like a bowl of nachos, that's how deep you like it. Feel the crunch, but yet also the saucy cheese. Anyway, that's besides the point. So I'm like, oh my god, these hand warmers. I wrap them in a blanket. In the blanket I had boba wrapped in, my boa constrictor, and like, it worked. It worked. I was like, oh, she's warm. Hooray! So that was great. That was good. And then, so I got this bump on my hand. I don't know if you can really tell. See this lump here? Like, see how it's like lumpy? Yeah. Well, my wrist is all messed up and I got a cyst in there. And I used to be able to be numb here, and I can slap it now because I took care of that Thursday. Anyway, that's boring stuff. No one cares about the boring stuff. What we do care about is good stuff. How are you? How are you, California kid? Are you doing well? I hope so. Did you have a good week? Was it great? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Oh, or it's not good. There's something good there, I'm sure. I'm positive there's something good there. Been a chill Friday? That's great. That's so good. Look at that. Love it. You love to see it. I'm thirsty. Just a second. Alright. So I apologize about yesterday. I do have a Discord. Let me Post that in the chat real quick. I'll post it a couple more times. But yeah, so I posted in the Discord that I wasn't able to stream because power's out. Even if it had come on later in the evening, I would have had to do work because I work from home, and obviously I couldn't do that. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, if we're doing the Purge After Dark thing, we're on the letter C. And I've been actually thinking a lot about today and what I wanted to talk about. I didn't do last Friday because, like, I wanted a break. I needed a break. But I want to be on G because that's growth. And maybe I'll just skip to G. Fuck the alphabet. Breaks are good. They are good. They're very good. So, we're going to skip A, B, C, D, E, F. We're gonna be on G. Not really. Let's see. Let's see. All I can think of is continuity, and that's not proper. It's not like my life is missing a plot hole or plot or anything, you know. Sometimes you feel like life's a giant plot hole, I tell you that much. C. C. I mean, I could talk about cannibalism, but I won't. For now. Anyway, that's not the point. Point is growth. So when I was a kid, and maybe some of you can relate, when I was a kid, I was a very mad child. I was so angry. And a lot of that had to do with like home life and stuff, you know, and I know we've all got different experiences about our homes, and it's one of those similar but different things, you know. I don't really believe anyone's home life is perfect, even if it looks like it is from the outside in. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors, you know? People put on fronts. They make themselves, you know, look good, look snazzy. They wore a tie. Tied it myself. Look at me. I look like I'm ready to go to Gryffindor. I'm actually a Hufflepuff, apparently, according to the website. But anyway. So, look at all you little guys down there. Who's that? Oh. What are you? This one. What up? Are you a little bug? Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Alright, that's not important. What is important is I was an angry child. And I wasn't always angry, so let me give you a backstory about myself. And I feel bad because I always talk about me. Now, I might later, after we kind of talk about some of that deeper, juicy things. Yeah, everyone has different situations, difficulties growing up. Right. So, I know my mom went to church. My dad, like, didn't, you know. Growing up, I wanted my dad to love me more than anything. More than probably, like, my mom loving me. And, and he didn't. Like, I know he did. Like, growing up, you know, now that I'm grown, I know he did. He did not show it. He was not very nice. Things like that. I won't get into too many details. I'm sure I will eventually, so just give it time and I'll get into the details. But anyway, this led to me being a very angry child. To the point, so my parents divorced when I was 13. And this was something, you were just casually angry. I was beyond casually angry. I was to the point when I was 12. And this is hard for me to talk about recently. Simply, and I'll get into it. But I wanted to kind of end the existence of the people I lived with, and I was an only child. And just kind of, you know, the lady that lived here wasn't very nice. Just kind of doo-doo-doo. I don't like my neighbors. You know, like, not from back then, obviously, Halo, like, you know. But I just was very angry. And then, hi, Panda. And school was not very nice to me either. And at that age, like, it was when I was 13 or so, like, you know, parents got divorced. I'm not you, like, you know, the Lord passeth over type thing. You know, hey now the Lord Passover, there we go. Passeth. Is that a word? Is that the old term? I don't know. Anyway, the point being that's whether I would have acted upon those. I know. I'm having a hard enough time. I don't need you giving me more. No, it's fine. It's fine. I appreciate. So Anyway, you know, my brother had quit talking to me, and at this point in time, I had felt like my friends, you know, they were older than me. The ones that I had that were any sort of friend, you know, they were out doing their own thing and whatnot. And the other one that lived around here, I won't name names, Halo, but I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. You know, you guys were off doing your own thing, and I didn't really have a lot of people at school. And the only people that I felt, other than certain friends, but the only people that I felt were nice to me were my grandparents. And I couldn't live with them. And luckily my parents got divorced when I was 13. That's mostly because my grandma died on my birthday. Because it was my mother's mother, and she was very, like, she wore a string of pearls every day, like, very, like, not pompous, but, you know. So, anyway, I tell you that to tell you this. So, Sunday, there's a neighbor around here. There's a couple of them, but the one neighbor, he's a fucking idiot, okay? He's a fucking idiot. The man should not be around machinery, let alone simple machinery, okay? Now, he's got a truck, all right? My dad's got a 1932 Farmall, right? Rusty as shit, but he grades the road, he plows the road, he rarely gets thanked he's been doing it for 40 fucking years. Halo, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, like, he works third shift, he doesn't always have time to fucking do it, and it's been raining, you can't, like, it's weird, because when you grade the road, for those of you that don't know, it's basically like turning the dirt and stuff to make those chatter bumps and things like that. It makes them go away, but you can't really do it when it's consistently raining, even though it's very moldable, because then it just kind of sinks in. Like, it doesn't solidify. You don't give it a chance to do that. So it just turns to muck mud, and it just makes a disaster. And it's been raining for a while, so he hasn't gotten around to do it. And you can't do it, like, if it's dry one day, and then he's always done it, and he was gonna do it, I think Sunday he plans on doing it again. So he's done this for 40 years. He had a gentleman when he plowed the snow, I think it was. And this guy, no idea who he is, he came up, followed my dad, and he said, if you think I'm paying you one fucking dime for doing this, he does the road. Like, not just a drive, like, he does the fucking road for probably like 20 or so people. And the gentleman says, if you think I'm paying you a fucking dime for this, you're out of your fucking mind. And mind you, he's yelling at my father. My dad's the only person I'm terrified of, right? And this guy's just got the audacity, the kahunas to just, like, start yelling at him, right? My dad goes, you can get off my property, or I'll go get my axe. And the guy you can't fucking do this, yada, yada, yada. So Dad turns around, and he goes to his garage. He's fucking going to his garage. The guy's like, what the fuck? Where the fuck you going? He's like, I'm gonna go get my fucking axe. So Dad grabs his axe, turns around, and the guy leaves. Shocking, I know. Like, fucking dumbass. Like, Dad, he never asked for money. He's put, like, in the plow truck alone, he's put, I think he said, $8,000 or so into it, because, you know, gas, and he's got to repair the plow, and some people do give him money for it, you know, they're grateful and stuff. Like, we got a doctor across the street, usually gives him something for it. He doesn't ask, just gives it to him. This idiot, this last Sunday or what the fuck ever, he's grading the road with a piece of angle iron and, like, cement blocks. It's improper, okay? Like, everyone, oh, you're a chick, you don't know fucking, I know enough, son, okay? Let me tell you. So, in my mind, I'm sitting here, I'm picking up these fucking piles of leaves, because Dad raked them out. I'm like, you know what, I can go outside, I'm fat, I need to do something. Piling all these piles. Cool. So, I'm piling all this stuff, and I watch him. And actually, my dog's outside, of course. Leashless. He's old, he can do that. But anyway, I tell him to stay. And I start walking my barefoot ass down that fucking road. And I see these people. Oh, thanks for doing this. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm fucking fuming. I'm like, yeah? Can't say thanks to the other fucking old guy doing it? Whatever. Well, then this old couple's walking their little stupid dog, and I'm like, oh, fuck, Buster's out. He's gonna be following me. So I turn around and I go and I get Buster back in the house. So the guy comes closer to so I fucking walk to the end of my driveway. I don't chase him down the road. Instead of chewing his ass out like I shoulda, I said, well, thanks for, someone's doing something. Because no one, and he goes, well, yeah, I know your dad's getting sick of doing it. He's like, and I'm like, well, yeah, but an idiot taking over isn't exactly what the choice option here is, but all right, son. So, but I, kind of a compliment stand, because Dad told me, he's like, dude, if you do it today, it's going to rain tomorrow, and it's going to be, useless, whatever. And there's chatter bumps in it, whatever. Dad spent 40 years making a crown in that road. Crown? So the road kind of goes like this. So, the rain goes like this, It's a teepee, goes like this. I mean, a crown's like, it's not like this, but it's like this. Not like this, or like this. So the water stagnates, Guess what the fuck I did? I made it like this! I'm pissed. I leave that gentleman. I didn't yell at him. I didn't, I was nice. I was like, thanks for helping. Whatever. So... Bruh. So I told you all of this. I told you my anger, my this, my that. To tell you this. My, not revelation, but kind of my, how far I've come in these, how old am I now? 32? How far I've come in these years. So I left the gentleman, and I'm fucking, fuming and stuff. I'm on my bare feet, stepping on stones. I like walking around my bare feet. I don't know about y'all, but I do. And it's like, it got to me in a way, but in like a sad way. Because I'm like, I fucking hate these people. I should burn all their houses. I fucking hate them. Blah, 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 blah. And then, I should have done what I wanted to do when I was 12 or whatever. And then I thought to myself, right, okay. But then you wouldn't have your mom and dad either. Because, implying, not implying. And for the first time, I didn't get mad at myself for those thoughts, because, I had them. I'll acknowledge that. And it wasn't a sense of guilt either, because I understand why I had those feelings, but it was more so, I don't want to say shame. I don't think that's right either. Maybe a revelation as to, what I would have taken from myself. And others, of course, but mostly me, But no, what I initially would have taken from myself. Everyone else be damned, no one in that house was nice to me. That's kind of one thing that sucks about Mom. Is she's everyone's like, oh, she was so nice. Yeah, she was if you weren't her kid. If you weren't her kid, she was nice. And not saying she was terrible, as I got older, she was, gained maturity. Or whatever, or I was easier to talk to, I don't know. But that was the revelation I had Sunday, and it was interesting. And I feel that a lot of us will reach that, if you're in a hard spot and stuff, and you're like, all I feel is mad, I'm sick of things, I'm done. It's interesting to look back on as you grow and develop and become who you want to be. Does that make sense? I never, in my wildest dreams, thought I would look back on that in that type of way, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. I wish I knew. This was so great next door either. I can imagine. Your parents were always really quiet. I can imagine. It's hard, though, because, as children, when we're growing up, and this is just my opinion. Okay, so there's a few things about children, in my opinion. This is strictly Purge After Dark is opinions only, no facts, unless you ask for a fact about orcas. But anyway, so, as a child, even if you're not, too familiar with, your words yet, you understand when a comment's kind and when it's malicious to you. Even at a young age, I feel children know, and a lot of us, because you always, in my opinion, you always want to put your best foot forward, so a lot of us kids, we hope, oh, hey, I had a party the other day, it was really fun, Mom had cake, We don't talk about after the party when we got hit with the wooden spoon for whatever reason. We don't talk about the negative things that are happening at home. And sometimes, that can be influenced by the adults in the house. You know, don't tell anyone or whatever. So they know that they're doing wrong. And that fucks kids up, you know? Like, treat others how you want to be treated. And the one thing that I never understood is, I get it. Like, I don't have kids. But kids can be frustrating. I can understand that. Kids can be frustrating as hell. I'm fucking sure. But I want to see chat a little bit better. But when you're a parent and things like that, and I obviously have I can only speak from the experience I had as a child. They're only 3, 5, 10, 12, whatever it may be. That's as long as they've been in the world. They don't have the experience that someone does as a parent. My mom was 30. I think my mom was 30. My dad was 28, 29 when I was born. You know, like, they'd been in the world obviously much longer than I had. And I think one of the reasons, I know I talk fairly negatively about my mother in these, or when we talk about her in general. Was she a horrible, terrible person? No. Was she a good mother? No. But I probably defend my dad more because now that I'm an adult, this does not, and this is true for any parent, generational trauma or generational abuse. So like my great grandmother was an ass, a bitch. I don't like saying that word very much but she was. And my grandmother too was a bitch. And like, you know what's good and you know what's bad and you choose to be cruel to your children. And you expect them, well, I don't understand why you're being mean to my grandkid. Well, look how you were! For everything that my dad's been through that he's told me, you do see the past differently as you grow. You should see the past differently as you grow. Some people don't. Some people, you know how I talk about the life wagon? Sometimes their wagon's stuck at like the age of 16. And that could be because of stuff that's happened at home, personal life, school, you know, stuff like that. And I understand it can be hard to get through those things on your own. Trust me, I get it. I do. You know, I don't know. But life is hard. Life is difficult. But it's worse for yourself if you stay in that spot. Sure, you get older and you can move out. Cool. So you move out. What good is it going to do you to stay in the feeling that you had when you weren't on your own? Does that make sense? So when you're able to go out on your own, you're able to kind of see the world on your own, essentially. Like, you don't have to come home and be like, oh, you know, I saw this really neat thing. LGBT alphabet soup parade. Hooray! And, you know, it was really neat. I thought it was really cool. Like, everyone was really, you know, and then someone said, well, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. You know, you can, oh, well, all right. You can tell your fucking stuffed animals, whatever. They don't care. But when you're out on your own, I don't know. I feel like it's a good opportunity for growth, but it's also very dangerous because you can stagnate because you're stuck in that past and you don't really grow. Like, yes, you grow up, you age, but you've also gotta, you know, and it's not about forgiving people. I'm kind of rambling here and losing my train of thought. But it's not about forgiving people, necessarily. Like, forgive, forget. Don't forget. That's not... When someone says to you, I'm sorry, I did something wrong, I'm sorry. Like, let's say they did something really mean, and they just go, I'm sorry. Well, that I'm sorry doesn't omit them from what they did, right? So, if they break your trust, okay? Let's say it's a significant other, and they cheat on you, okay? You're willing to work it out and they just say, I'm sorry. And then that's difficult because while it's not okay, and they have to gain back that trust. It's not just, I'm sorry, and now they have all that trust back. They do have to gain it back. It's not appropriate, in my opinion, it's not appropriate for them to immediately want that 100% trust right then and there. They have to build up to it. But if they have built up to it, they've, you know, been open, they, I don't know, give you your phone, whatever, you know, that kind of stuff, like, heeded to your demands, and then you continue to bring it up, that's not fair to them. You made the choice to work past it. Well, they're doing their, they're doing their share. They understood they made a mistake. They don't want to do it again. They fucked up. They were young. They were stupid. Because when you're young, you're kind of dumb, right? Oh my God, I just spat like a cobra. When you're young, you're kind of dumb, right? People grow. People change. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. Just depends. My hands are freezing. But, I don't know. Does any of that make sense to you? Any of you? Does that make sense? Good. I hope it makes sense. I hope I'm a little difficult, because, like, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I've just got a lot to talk about, and some of it's kind of emotional, and I don't necessarily like that. Even in the last couple years, I've noticed that the way I articulate myself and things like that have kind of changed as well. I've learned big words and I want to use them. Like epiglottis. I love epiglottis. Whenever people choke, I'm like, your epiglottis failed you. So anyway, that's not important. What is important, and going back to, like Halo said, if he'd known, because he was my neighbor growing up, it's difficult. And, like, now that I'm grown, it's like, oh God, like, everyone was probably having a bad time because they behaved XYZ kind of way, like some kids are reclusive, some kids are more outgoing than, would seem normal. Some kids are super, I know I was hyper half the time because, well, I was stuck in my room and I lived on a mobile home, whatnot. And I don't know, kids aren't born with manuals, sure, all right. But as a parent, I don't think you can use that as an excuse for everything either, because you're a human being and you know what you like, you know what you don't like done to you. You don't like mean things being said out of pure spite. Like my dad, bless him, bless his soul. You know what he told me once? I was like 20, how old am I? 32? I must have been 22, 23. And he said to me, well, I always called you fat, right? Because if, you can handle it for me, and strangers on the street saying it won't mean nothing to you when they do. And I'm like, I've never had a stranger come up and tell me that I'm obese and a fat pile of shit. Thanks. And the thing is like, I'm looking at, like, my yearbook and shit from, like, high school and stuff, and I'm like, I wasn't even that fat. Damn, So, the best of intentions isn't always good, I think a lot of parents, though, lose sight of, and kids can be hard. I'm sure I wasn't easy. I was a pretty good kid, though. I was treated pretty shitty for how good of a kid I was. The good to shitty ratio is pretty wild. But yeah, I hope that helps. I don't think it helps anyone. I kind of just did a rant, though. But what can we learn from this? What can we learn from the experience I had to help you? Things get better? That's so cliche. It's not always true, either. It's not. Sometimes things don't get better. In the situation that you're in, sometimes. Things can get better. Sometimes. It just depends, depends on the situation. And sometimes things don't get better in the situation unless you do something about it. Whether that's leaving the situation or, making change. It could be any situation. It could be a work situation, relationship situation, not just, an intimate relationship, but a friendship. Things like that. I need to quit drinking. I can't. It's pop or snacks, okay? I'm thirsty. It's the diabetes. But anyway. I bet I could start a Harley. Anyway, it's not important. What is important? Because, and maybe it's, I don't know why parents are shitty. Sometimes. I don't. Because, like, what I was saying with my mom and dad, I probably defend my dad more because I understand how, like, this environment he grew up. I mean, I was living next to my grandma for, I don't know, 20 some odd years. She's ass. So I understand where he came from, you know, and I understand where my mom came from because I adored those grandparents. She didn't have a reason to be the way she was. She really didn't. And that's what bothers me. That's not important. But yeah. What else do we have? I don't know. It's just very interesting to, you know, and it makes me excited for those who, like, I have friends that are younger and older and in between, and it's a little exciting because I can understand where they're at now, and then in a couple years from now, we can look back and see how far they've come, you know? Maybe they'll have good, and I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, that's not the point, but, you know, it's hard to recognize your own growth because you live your life every day. Hey, Lance, hi! Oh, we're talking about the deep stuff. How are you? Welcome to After Dark with Purge. How's it going? Hi! How's the car sales going? I hope it's good. It's been a lovely week. It's been wonderful, hasn't it? I think so. My power went out. I don't even know where you're living these days. I assume still in Michigan. Lance, meet Halo. Lancery, meet Halo. Man, everyone's got numbers in their names. I don't. You know, I got my name from a. What's your guys' names for? Where'd you get your names from? Your what are they called? Tags? Usernames. Where'd you get your username from? Mine was from a dragon puking out a rainbow. Specifically a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. You know. Like a bow with 3 heads. I've been thinking about making one of these little dudes. One of these guys. But like one of these guys. Move me! Well, like one of these guys. I got that. I drank pop too fast. Oh my gosh, my heart. But yeah, so After Dark with Purge, where were we? What were we talking about? We were talking about parents. We were talking about life and all that stuff. And like, I'm still trying to think of a word that starts with C that would fit my alphabet that I'm trying to do with these. But basically, After Dark is kind of a therapy session. From Game Halo and liking Grim Reaper. Oh. You know what's really funny? So as you can see behind Sebastian, I have a plethora of bones. I get so paranoid my neighbors are gonna like come in and steal my skulls. It's honestly ridiculous. It's so stupid. But I'm like, what if they like one of them and they're gonna come in and take them? Like, not in my house, but like in my garage. There's 50 bones in my house. She accidentally killed a webpage, but I'm back. My username is from a childhood nickname, Lancery, and MGK in his album. Okay. Lancery. I like MGK because of you. Honestly. He comes up on my Pandora now. But I'm paranoid they're gonna come in my garage and like take my skull. I got a pair of elk antlers in there. They're not good for anything. I want to make a gun rack out of them. Carve like a scene in them, you know? No, that'd be cool. Sorry, you killed your webpage. It's all this power and authority. Not really. I've gained 12 pounds in September. Can you believe? Doesn't winter just ravage your body? It really does. But that's okay. It happens. It does. And you know, yeah, I'm fluffy. But I'm happy. Grunt at my happiness, butter. I mean, that would be a sweet gun. Right! I think it'd be pretty freaking dopamine! I learned about what that means, by the way, and now I'm upset that I use it. Dopamine's the love thing. Serotonin's the drug. But I thought that's why y'all called it dope! Was because of the dopamine! I don't understand drugs! Check your phone. You gotta see my doing anyhow. Okay, I'm checking. Swampy boy. LOL. So, I was thinking, would anyone want to talk through the Discord in these little sessions? The idea was brought to my attention 2 Fridays ago. What am I checking? Discord? I don't see it. Where is it? Where? Oh god, it's my face. Lancery, I don't see it. Alright. Oh, there it is. Ooh. My dad has one like that. Did you know? You can build your... I'm not patient. I'm not a doctor. I don't have patience. That's really nice. I like that. Ooh. Yeah, my dad's got one like that, I think. I think he's got two. Yeah, I like it. It's very nice. I'm not going to show the studio audience, though. Thank you for sharing with me. Nice. Very nice. Good. Have you shot it yet? Have you done the Rudy Tooty point and shooties? Could you imagine if, like, we didn't call them GUNS, we called them Rudy Tooty point and shooties? Like cops are like, hey, he's got a Rudy Tooty point and shooty. like no one would take you seriously. Like, you know, he assaulted a woman with a Rudy Tooty point and shooty. Like, why not a people opener? Like, yeah. But did you know they make, like, guns you can build? Like, I'm not talking like, oh, I built my own. Scary? Yeah. I can imagine. I want a revolver, personally. I think one of those would be really nice. I want a Desert Eagle. And you know why I want it? That's my concealed carry. No bullets. No, I'm pistol whipping the muggers. Quit spin like a cobra, me. It's nasty. No wonder my desk is wet. All the parts and built it was awesome. But they make like art projects with Poppy. Like, it's stop it. Stop stuttering. It is a like package, and it's a muzzle loader, so you gotta like get the black powder and like shove it in the like barrel thing and then poof, and then shoot it like a ball. But it's so cool! I was like walking around the gun store with Dad because he was looking for reload stuff. Still in concealed deagle? Yes. I will never stop. Specifically, I want it gold plated, please. Well, some mine as well. Yeah. I can imagine it's really fun. But Dad's got a scope, and it's like, it's so fucking cool. It's green, but it's not night vision. But it feels like night vision, and it's got... Is it night vision? I don't think it's night vision. I don't know, there's a green dot instead of a red dot, I think. Something. It's somewhere in it, it's green. It's been a while since I've seen it, so... Something on it's green! That reminds me, you could share Discord screen. Okay, yeah, let me share that. Whoops. I will say, for anyone that joins the Discord, it is a work in progress. Also, if you've joined the Discord, there's a little thing at the top. I'm still figuring it out, but there's like Prism Speak, and then there's a thing that says Welcome Little Prism. And in that one, there's a little birthday cake, and if you click it, you can add your little birthday into the happy birthday things, and we'll celebrate your birthday when it comes. I don't know what we'll do fucking yet. Maybe I'll stream us making a cake. No. I'll have 100 cakes. I'll make a little cake. We'll make little cakes. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh my god, it would be. I'd have nothing to do. I would work and make cakes. That's it. No, I can't do that. We'll think of something, though. We'll celebrate it somehow. But anyway, yeah. Because, like, these usually go for 2 or 3 hours. And as long as everyone, you have to keep it, obviously, terms of service, things like that. We can't talk about certain topics. But, yeah, I'd be happy to. If anyone wants to chat, just let me know. And we can start that tonight if you so desire. But, yeah. I think it'd be really fun. Kind of like a little talk show. I'll get a puppet. And I'll do this when you talk, so that way it's like, right, you know? Oh! Am I in a voice chat? No, I'm not. I can be, though. Let me power up the old Discord. Yeah, like a sock puppet. This is the best. This is the best I have for right now. I've got a sock. No. Where am I? Let's see. Little prisms. See, I don't... I have no idea what we've talked about. The webcam join your screen. You can pop in and say hi before I go sleep. I vote sock people. Can I just have a huge blur with googly eyes? Let's see. Let me join the lobby. Here we go. I'm in the lobby. I don't know. I'm gonna disable streamer mode. This is the first time doing it, so give me some breaks. Pump the brakes! Remember having to do that? Any of you? Anybody remember having to pump the... Anybody remember having to pump the gas? To, like, get it to go, like you try to... So then you gotta pump the gas. Anybody? Is that just me? That's alright. Okay, so I am in the channel lobby if anyone wants to join me. Also, hello, Tiffy Tot. Pop in and say hi before you go to sleep. Bone the sock puppet? Okay. Look, I don't know what you want from me. I'm not a ventriloquist. Fascinating to learn. Ugh, I'm just terrible. Hello, Lancer. Oh. Hold on, say something.
Hello?
Hi. I'm gonna adjust your volume a little. Can everybody hear Lancery?
Oh, fuck. It's so loud. Hold on.
Holding. Of course it's loud. It's me. So how do I get you on the Discord? You can hear him? Okay. Okay, Halo. How do I get you?
So on your whatever OBS you're using, you
add a
can
source.
use whatever OBS you're using, you'll have to use the actual Discord channel. Use your sec.
I can figure it out.
Yeah, on the OBS you'll actually have to use a screen capture on your Discord.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Boop. And I know exactly where I'm gonna put you. Let me put this as... I almost said Discord. Source. Here you are. Done. Alright, let me get you...
Oh, shoot, there I am.
Shoot, there you are. Can I... that's just gonna make you smaller.
Oh, wow. Going on back there.
Right.
My studio still still a build in progress, as you can see.
I can. It looks good though. Good job.
Oh, I got that over there too.
I love PlayStation. Inbox. Meh.
There we go.
Show me Phil. I wish I wasn't awful at life. Hide.
One sec. I'll be right back.
Well, alright, I'll just be here by myself figuring out life.
No, I was gonna move this box because it's ugly.
Same. Oh! Oh, okay, well, that's big. Can I maybe not have full screen for me too?
There we go.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus, I think I might have figured it out. Hold on. Oh! I closed Discord! I fucking hate Discord. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like Discord. I closed Discord.
Yeah, that's what happened to me the first time.
Love it. Because I can pop it out. If I do that, can I... Oh, uno momento. Oh, come on. I just minimized it. Show me that sweet, sweet lobby. Alright, or don't. That's fine, too.
That's sweet, Lissy.
Here we go! Boom, baby!
Ah,
So now, right.
Yes, I'm picking my nose.
You're welcome! Alright, there we go. Get you situated in the corner. Where am I gonna put you?
Alright, I'm gonna try to watch me and watch you at the same time. So.
Well, have fun. Sounds hard. Are you on that one? Okay. Well, anyway. Hello, Lance.
Hi.
So, I don't know when you hopped into the conversation what we were talking about. It was pretty hot and heavy.
It was the very end of existence, I think. Some kind of existence talk.
I don't know. We were talking a lot about like what it all devolved into essentially is so like Halo and me lived next to each other as kids. And like I was talking about how home life was shitty and how I wanted to basically like slaughter all my neighbors and stuff. And all that fun stuff. And then the thoughts I had about that on Sunday because I'd never really felt like so Sunday I was thinking about that same thing that I had when I was 12, like I just want to get rid of all of them type thing. But when I was 12, that would have included my mom and dad. And then in that sense, I was like, well, then I'm stealing them from myself. And I didn't get mad at myself because, you know, you feel your feelings in that moment in time. But it was a feeling I'd never felt before thinking back on that moment. Like, I'll never deny the thoughts I had because I do feel like it's a good, like, progress bar of myself. Yeah, you know, like, this is where I was, this is where I am. So it was very interesting. Yeah. And then we were talking about, you know, Halo's like, well, I wish I would have known, you know, because things weren't great for him at home either. And it's just one of those things, like, as kids, and I don't know what your home life exactly was like growing up. I'm sure we talked about it at work and stuff. Yeah. But, like, when you're a kid, you don't want to tell your peers and stuff, like, my mom and dad beat me. You know, you don't want to do that. You want to make friends and stuff, and you worry that people won't like you if you talk like that, is my opinion. Right. And like, yeah, like children know whether something's nice or not. You know, you just know. Like, it doesn't matter if you really understand what they're saying word wise or what they're talking about. You know, because adults say weird things sometimes. I know I do.
I do it all the time.
Bruh, I confuse the shit out of children. It's great. It's fun.
Gotta love beating them kids.
Yeah, pretty much. Right, Bunder?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. But I was trying to think of a way, because I don't want to say, like, well, things get better if, like, people are in a hard spot, you know? And it's so cliche, because they don't. And that's what I said. Things don't always get better. But they don't do anything if you don't usually change it. Like, for you to wait for stuff to change on your own. It does take an attempt. Yeah. Sometimes that attempt's uncomfortable and it could be leaving the situation, so really it never got better because you left.
I would say most of the time it's hard enough to find the toxicity that you have to leave.
Do you mean
identifying the problem?
Yeah, like recognizing that there is a problem. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Because sometimes you're blind to it where you don't want to see the problem.
Right. Have you had a problem like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I met my current wife, I had that problem.
So it was like a relationship problem, and you don't have to answer these questions either. So if it was a
relationship.
Okay, like an intimate one, obviously not a friendship. Hold on, my hamstrings. Oh God, I'm sitting cross-legged. Yeah. Well, anyway. Oh, jeez. What made you recognize? Like, you took a step back and you're like, this isn't good for me. What was that kind of aha moment for you, if I may ask?
There's a couple. One of them was whenever I wanted to come hang out, they would say they would get really weird about it and distant, pushy, maybe. And
like,
then
pushing you away?
There was one time where they were like leading me to like, hey, you should come here. And then they actually led me into seeing them with another person. Because they were self-destructive as hell. Just horrible.
Say hi to Codithan.
Hi, Cody!
Yeah. He's one of my mods. I think you're a mod too, weren't you? No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. It might be, I think it's probably Voodoo. I think Voodoo's a mod.
Voodoo is a friend and I'm not. Okay.
He was in Oh,
You've never met him in person.
I haven't.
That's okay.
You're welcome to.
Cody.
Yeah, hi Codes. You're welcome. We're doing a kind of like a little talk show thing.
Yeah,
It's the
get on your
first
webcam
time.
and get in here.
Yeah, if you want. You're not obligated to. He might be working
We're
actually.
having a
I don't know.
couch session.
We are. We are.
Working. It's 12:30 in the morning. God dang.
He works for GM now.
Oh.
He does
I
the.
work for Ford.
He does the. Ugh. So I'm gonna end this call. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just isn't working out.
I'm only a skeevy sales rep.
Skeevy sales rep. All right, Mini Chris.
To be fair, I do mostly used sales anyway. I actually sell more Audis than I do Fords.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Hey.
I sold more, on average, Toyotas, Audis, and Mercedes than I have Ford at anything, actually. Yeah. I take advantage of our used inventory. I love it.
I mean, you might as well.
It's great.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. And Kirsten got a new job.
Yeah.
So she's working at, so our apartments are right behind our Meijer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she was working like 2 miles down the road, which, she can't drive, obviously.
Right.
Now she works within a 2-minute walking distance from our apartment at the dental office that's right by our apartments.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
And she's making more money, so
that's
pretty
good.
dope.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Save money on gas, But I have to buy more shoes probably, but.
Yep. And now instead of working in the Holland Walmart, which is about 30 minutes from me or whatever, now I work a mile away.
Nice. That's really good.
In a dealership. Yeah. So.
Hey, can't beat it.
And less gas.
Right. Yeah, that's nice. That's
cool.
Good. That's good. I'm so glad to hear you and that you're doing well. That's so good. I do.
Buddy.
Hey.
There's Codes. Can everyone hear Codithan pretty good?
Testing.
I know I can hear him.
Yeah, me too. I just want to make sure. Where the hell's my mouse? Make sure he's good. But yeah, so I know you just joined Codes. We were kind of talking about, and Lance, you have to hear this all over again, Lancery, but we're kind of talking about like growing up, and then like I don't know about y'all, but like I said, personally, I was very like angry, and Sunday had kind of had a revelation on that had I done what I wanted to do with that anger, I would have taken what I now treasure realistically from my own self. And it's not that I felt shame about it, but it was just an interesting feeling, and like, growth, and then adults not versus children, but like they just, well, because like Halo Reaper, we're next door neighbors growing up. And, he's like, well, if I'd known that, but things weren't good at his home either, And as kids, like, we don't share that. You don't want to share your negative experiences while the other kids are laughing and playing. You don't want to be a negative Nancy on the playground. But
I get that.
Yeah. So just really interesting. Yeah, what's up?
Real quick, your cursor's
I
on
see
my
that.
face.
I see this. Yeah, I see that.
That's moderator status. Yeah, put me as moderator.
All right.
To see
I
how
will.
I'm doing it.
You right.
Coles, how's the new job?
It's going pretty good. I mean, it's all remote work, and it's still customer service, but at least I get to swear all I want, so that's nice.
Hey,
that is true.
Yeah.
Oh no, shut up, me and you.
My favorite thing about my new job is that I get to dress up in a fucking suit every day.
Me too. My favorite thing about my new job is I don't have to change.
There you go.
I can wear whatever I want. I can wear pants. I can wear nothing.
My favorite thing is that, and like, my second favorite thing. I don't know. You might have to click on my Discord.
Yeah, probably.
On that page.
Nah, I was trying to add you as a mod. I'll have to add you as a mod later. I'll have to add you as a mod later. I was trying to do that now.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But my second favorite thing is that like when we were selling phones, you could make like a max of $40 on a sale. Here, I can like make a max of like $3,000 on a sale.
Oh, nice.
It's insane.
Here, I don't.
So much better.
I don't gotta worry about commission. I got a
Well,
raise and all that fun
yeah,
stuff. So
to be fair, you don't have to. Yeah, I do have to worry about commission. So like, it's mostly that I work on a draw. So they give me like a certain amount of money per month, and then I work off that, and then once I make more than that, I get a bonus check. So like, it's kind of cool.
yeah,
It's not like they make sure that I'm taken care of if I don't sell a car, which is cool.
that's good.
Oh,
That's
that's
really
nice.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, so like it's my first job where it's like straight commission.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But I don't. Hey, I haven't struggled yet.
Num, 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 num. I'm
Fair
feeding
enough.
my
If it works,
babies.
it works.
I'm feeding my babies while you guys talk. Have some food, babies.
Stars. No, but so far it's cool. I get my own office and everything like that. It's pretty-
Dude, that's nice.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's really nice. Good. I'm so glad that we're all out of our terrible situations at the same store.
Yeah. Same. Like I had so much love hates about the Big Rapids T-Mobile. So many love hates.
Were you there for the buyout of Preferred Wireless?
Nope. I left right before it. Thank God.
Oh,
Yeah.
lucky you.
Yeah, you're lucky. Let me tell you how hard I was fucked. There was no lube. It was basically a cactus. And just the most unpleasant feeling in the fucking world. When I tell you I would have driven to Texas to shit on their fucking desk, I'm not lying to you. I would have
Yep.
eaten as much KFC as it takes, not shit myself in my own vehicle. And if I did, I'd have Depends on so I could just drop that on their desk and then leave. I
You've
was
actually
done.
used that exact phrasing before too.
I know I
You know-
did. Look, when I make threats, I remember exactly the threat I was gonna make.
Cody, you know what I'm talking about. My now current best friend Caleb, he kind of saved me on that one. I won't even say it. I can't even lie.
I like how
You
you're
know-
like
you know
my
Caleb,
current best
right?
friend.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah, he's my best friend in the whole world. I'm about to be the best man at his wedding, and we ended up meeting him. It was so weird. It was like a week before shit started going south between me and Chris, which now thankfully we're good. Chris and I are totally
Chris
cool.
is
Oh nice.
Chris is a lot different.
Yeah, he's thankfully had a lot of growing up to do, which is fine. I did too, but
We all
anyway,
did.
We had
Oh, yeah.
our little falling out, and the week before it all went down, my now current my best friend, he would have been my best man at my wedding if it wasn't for
The wedding not being
timing
taking
and all
place.
that good stuff.
Mm.
But yeah, he we went to a party of his because my fiance at the time was working at Walmart, and we just happened to go to this like little get together they were having. We got like super drunk. He's like, "Hey, you should come apply at OSL," and it ended up working out really great. Which I don't work there anymore, but it was necessary apparently because we ended up making this frat house, and we had this whole thing, this super crazy ecosystem, and then. Yeah, now I'm here now down in Grand Haven and living fucking life on the lakeshore. It's crazy. It's crazy. But
Would
it never
you
could have happened.
would you say that it's grand?
It is super grand.
Good.
Super grand.
What was I gonna say? Fuck. I guess. Oh yeah, I remember when you tried to get me into the OBS or whatever it is, OSL. There we go.
OSL,
Yeah.
OBS.
Shut up.
No, you're on OBS. You're
Yeah.
on OBS now, Purge.
You right. Look,
Shit was wild.
sure was. So for those of you who don't know, we all used to work together at the same undisclosed cellular phone store.
Undisclosed, like we didn't just get done naming it and talking about it.
I undisclosed it. Now, I don't
Very
have
disclosed.
I don't have issues with undisclosed phone store. I have issues with undisclosed phone store's third-party retailer that now currently owns undisclosed third-party store in this town of which I currently closely reside.
Boy.
All right.
I fucking hate them. Shit on their desk.
That whole PTO situation pissed me off so bad.
Dude, Richard's still mad.
He should be still
What the
mad.
hell is Richard doing now?
The
He's
same
the
exact thing,
same.
I think.
Yep, the same thing.
No.
So, well, the reason why is because the commission is really decent for him. Like he's the top seller there now. So while his youngest is waiting to go to school, it works best because they work with his schedule. So don't worry, I have lunch with
Fucking
him
Richard.
tomorrow actually. Oh, fucking Richard.
I haven't seen Ryan in so long.
Yeah.
Dude, it's been... I don't even know if he exists on the web.
He does. He's
A
on
little
a
bit, not as much, but he does.
yeah.
What's his last name? Is it Baker? Is that it?
No.
What is
I'll
it?
text.
What
I'll
is his
message.
last
I'll message it to you.
name? Yeah. I have been trying to connect with him for so long just to see how he's doing, and I just
There you go.
I'm connected with everybody else.
Yeah.
Like I text Emily every once in a while, just to
Yeah.
see how she's doing.
Yeah. She still owes me $1,300.
Oh, that's still
Well,
running. Oh no.
moving on from that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like she said she was gonna give me $50 a week, and then she'd be paid off by like June or July, and then she was gonna use her income tax to pay me back. And I'm sitting here like, we made an agreement June, July. Waiting. Yeah, I lost friends over the nonsense and everything, which, I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. It's not... I don't care, personally, but that's not important. What is important is how you're doing, which I hope is well, this lovely evening.
Get some of that.
I'm doing all right. I just got out of work. Oh, never mind. I didn't just get out of work. It's been a couple hours.
Hydrate before you dehydrate.
There you go.
I also got out of work 6 hours ago. 7 hours ago. And I got to work 4.5 hours this weekend.
Yeah, but 7 hours ago. I get to go in. I say I get to go in. I mean that. I get to go in for a couple hours tomorrow. Well, technically today on Saturday. But every Saturday, every sales rep goes in, they buy lunch for everyone. So, like, it's actually worth it. Like, last week we got this.
Oh, wait,
Excuse
no.
You? Yeah, I can see you.
Wait,
Did you just forget that we have this open?
Yeah,
no.
I can see your fucking puppet hands saying I'm talking
I
too
said
much.
well, Cody doesn't have a face, and it's rude.
Oh, you're representing me. Okay, I wasn't sure if
Oh, I
that
thought
was
you were
like
doing some legally blonde shit. Like
if that was like my representation, or if he had the audacity to just go blah 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 on camera.
God.
Wait, I can talk. Carry on. I was gonna move the puppet.
Oh, I'd like to say we all changed and moved on, but apparently that's not true.
I don't know. I've changed and moved on. What do you think?
I say it'd be a sin if we haven't.
I rarely even think about that place anymore.
Smart.
Wait.
I'll take a Waz. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I'll put one.
I still talk about Walmart sometimes just because I have funnier stories from there, and like, you know, with the whole video going viral ish, I should say.
Right.
It just kind of follows me around.
Right. I don't know. Honestly, one of the best memories I have of T-Mobile is when we got to sing the Leopard's Pie Peppered.
The Leopard's Pie Shepherd song.
Yeah.
Which
but
is
yeah.
basically just Sweeney Todd the Musical performed by Def Leppard.
Could you imagine? I couldn't because I don't know what Def Leppard sounds like. I can't imagine very
Same.
good. I can't imagine very good since they're all deaf, but... But what do I know? Oh no. Lance, you missed it. We don't know what Def Leppard sounds like, but they probably don't sound good.
Don't bring up music.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You both?
There it is.
Because they're deaf.
Oh, I got it.
Ha! Only been in there since you left. Oh, really? Oh, man.
You do
Oh,
actually know what
Halo.
Def Leppard sounds like, right?
No, Halo. You're okay. So, like, I love you. Your dad came into the store one time as a Sprint customer. He talked to me more in that amount of time that I was fixing his phone than I ever spoke to him in my young life. Ever. And I'd, like, been over to his house, and I'm just like, hi. And he's like, all about the neighbors. And I'm like, yeah, I hate him too. He's like, I didn't realize he was such a gossip. Oh my. It was lovely to talk to him. Now I know what he sounds like. He can, but for me it was baffling that he was even like talking, because he'd always been quiet. You know, I don't know. It's one of those things. It was good. It was fun. It's a good time. It's interesting, like, as you age and get older, and then, like, suddenly, like, your parents' bedroom's not forbidden anymore, but you're, like, in your mind, you're like, I ain't going there. That's me.
That's the dirty space.
Bruh, no, I went in one time, and I'm looking around, because, like, I had to get something or whatever. The second thing I saw was a picture of my mother naked on the hood of her Magnum, and I'm like, huh.
Why?
Right, I mean, I didn't see anything because it was like a Polaroid or whatever, but I'm just like, this is why it's a no-no zone. Like, this is why it's a don't go.
I'm so numb.
I remember sliding out of there, like, yeah. My dad wasn't there when I was born. He was home getting, like, their overnight bag or whatever. And I told him he didn't miss much. It was just me coming out of a slip and slide.
We gotta come up with some topics quick.
I can, look, I have done this 2 times now by myself. 3 times, kind of, because the first After Dark with Purge was a continuation after me and Coda and Squeaky Peepers had played Human Fall Flat. And I just kind of kept talking because I had too many monsters or too much energy. I don't know. So, okay.
How many monsters? What the
So we'd had
type
this.
What are you going on about?
What in the type 2? Excuse me. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, love it. I got the beatus. But no.
What in the Wolford Brimley fuck is going on here?
What, you're not supposed to be doing what the fuck you're doing?
What in the sugar?
diabetes?
What in the diabetes you doing? them's fighting words. Get out your pancreas and let's go. But no. So the point of these little videos, other than slapping little guys on the bottom of the screen, is like to kind of talk about the heavy topics maybe, and help, not even help,
Let's get it.
but provide advice, help, you know, because like
Insight?
insight, things like that to situations that maybe people are going through. Because I've noticed, and like, I'm not famous by any stretch of the imagination, but apparently I'm easy to talk to, which is great.
Yeah, confirm.
And I've lived a lot in a short period of time, because I'm not that old, I'm 32. And a lot of times we do wind up talking about, you know, family members passing, because I'm very experienced in that. Things like that, though, that I feel a lot of people, especially nowadays, there's not a lot of people they're comfortable going to talk about these things. It's not necessarily taboo, but it's not something, you know, you want to bring up. Like, hey, my family is dying and I don't know what to do about it. I did a Google search. You know, there's not a lot of people out there who can relate. And like, you know, yeah, I've got those circumstances, but maybe you guys have other circumstances or something, but they just kind of, they come up naturally. So that's what that was kind of the point of these. Obviously, I don't mind if we have fun, carry on. I really don't care. It's just to talk to people, get to know people. Oh my God, I think I broke something. It's not important.
I'm really good at talk points. Send them.
So, okay, so I was trying to do like alphabetical. And the first one was about asexuality. Because that's personally what I identify as and all that other fun stuff and whatnot. And life's a journey in that sense. Also, I like to talk about food-related metaphors. And then the second topic was B, which was believing in yourself. Because a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't believe, there's more of a fear of failure than a fear of trying, you know? So they don't bother to try because, well, I'm going to fail. Yeah, that's true. You probably will your first time, but what about the second, third, fourth, fifth? Like, no one rarely succeeds on the first try of anything. I gotta go back and edit. And today would be C, but I kind of skipped over to G for growth because, I don't know, it was just a heavy thing on my mind that was very interesting. And maybe
Growth is great.
It is. It's
like,
but I think it's hard for people to recognize on their own. Like, it's hard for people to, you know what, I've done this. Like, I was X way and now I'm this way and I achieved something, you know?
Growth is minimal, dude.
It can be. It doesn't, like, growth doesn't have to be
huge.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be this you know, it's not like I was 2 feet and now I'm 6 feet. I mean, that's what happened to me. I can't speak for you, Lancery, but
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying though.
But
Like,
I think a lot of people, and the thing is too, is I think a lot of people, as far as we're talking about mental, emotional, that kind of growth, you don't recognize it because as soon as you're close to hitting the bar you set for yourself, you raise it once again. So realistically, you never allow yourself to reach the bar of growth and really celebrate what you've done and then raise the bar. You know, I think that a lot of people run into that.
Really, unfortunately, it really has to come to a point of where you have to realize that if you look actually at yourself, you can realize that you can do a lot more than what you think.
Right. And I think
everybody says that. But
excuse me. Ooh.
It's honestly true though. Like, I always thought, like, oh, everybody says that. Everybody says that. Well, if everybody says it, it might have some fucking meaning to it.
Right. And what's the saying? There's a saying though that's like there's a little truth to a lie. I mean, that's not what I'm looking at. But there's a little truth. If someone's, like you said, if everyone's saying it, there's a little truth in it somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not a saying for no reason.
Right. It's the same on the opposite. If everybody has the same problem with you, it's probably you.
Right,
But,
exactly.
which is a horrible way of looking at things, but at the same time,
but it's a way
everybody
to
has the same problem with you. Maybe there might be some things that you
Right.
have to tweak, which
And
is okay.
it's a way to, because I don't know about you, but I was a weird fucking person growing up. I still am. And I would ask people specifically, I'm like, what should I change about me? Because to me, I'm
There's the
perfect.
difference between what I just said and what you just said.
Well, to me, I'm
Because
perfect.
If you have to ask, then there's nothing. But if there's something that
Well-
like, you're being an asshole every time you go out everywhere,
But okay,
then
let's look at it this way. So I ask that
Yeah.
question. That's why we got along. I ask that question to people because how I grew up, like, you know, my parents were angry and all this stuff. So that's what I knew. And I as I got older, I understood that was a way to push people away. Like, you don't want to be around someone who's mad all the time, who's yelly, who's loud. You know, and there's a difference between loud and being yelly. So as someone who had that's why I would ask, what should I change about myself? Because I didn't know at the time. Like, I didn't have the outside resources to be like, okay, this is how I'd like to act, other than what I'd seen in, you know, movies and things like that. And that's probably why I relate to anti-heroes so much. I lost my train of thought.
but nobody would ever tell you though.
They didn't, realistically, because on the flip side of that, being 1, relatively large and in charge, no one's gonna tell you what you're doing wrong because, oh, you're you good, you good. I ain't fighting that battle.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
get that.
so right. So it comes to, though, like, you have to have the awareness to take kind of a step back and look at yourself and be like, all right,
It's hard.
it is. it's really hard, and I think so many people put too much pressure on themselves to get that that skill set, because it realistically is a skill set, and you can work on any skill set. I am bound and fucking determined. I dated someone who had Asperger's, and you know, there's a little bit of social norms that they miss out on sometimes, but it's a communication skill regardless. Yes, you might have to work 10 times harder than someone to understand them, but you can do it. Like, you can understand the skill set, you can gain the skill set. It just takes some work. And sometimes, you know, it takes guidance or whatever. But it's a lot of pressure people put on themselves to just be able to do it, and it just takes practice, you know, because you don't want to admit that you have faults. No one does. You know.
Puberty to 30 is fucking hard. That, with everything being said, it's so hard to like find your group.
It is.
Or whatever you want to call it, but it's.
I wouldn't.
yeah.
Now, here's a question for both of you.
Yeah.
A two-part question. First part: do you think that as you were growing up, you weren't who you felt that you really were? Like, let's say, like, you're a huge nerd, but you're
Absolutely
like, no,
not.
I'm actually a jock. Do you guys feel like you ever did that?
I faked who I was for a very long time trying to fit in.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I won't say it didn't work. It definitely worked. I would say relatively popular in high school, but I shouldn't have been because I faked it
Okay.
hard.
What about
Like,
you, Kodo?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, Sorry.
No, you're good.
What about you, Codes?
Oh, definitely. Oh my goodness, yes. Especially in middle school, because I was getting bullied pretty much like every year that I went to school, period.
Mhm.
So starting in middle school, I kind of like closed myself off. I didn't want to talk to anybody because I was afraid that anybody around me could suddenly start in on me. And it wasn't until high school that I found an actual support system and started making actual real friends that I started to come out of my shell and start being, you know, the kind of person I wanted to be.
Okay. And when would you say that happened for you, Lancery? Like, you were able to kind of, was it all through high school, middle school that you kind of did that chameleon thing?
I was
or
fake until I was probably about 22 years old.
Okay.
So I went through high school, middle school, whatever you name it, trying to be whatever I could be. I fit in. I was like the mismatch guy.
Dude,
So
same.
I fit into 7 or 8 different cliques or whatever,
Mhm.
and try to be everybody's friend, which never worked because there'd be 2 or 3 different people out of every 10 people from each clique that would always have some shit to say about me. So like I always felt like the outsider, but I was always trying to fit in. So like I always felt like I was cool, like I had friends or whatever, but I wasn't. It
So,
was
would you say
horrible.
that you didn't have, like, yes, you hung out in a lot of groups, but you didn't have your niche?
Oh
type
yeah, I
thing?
never had my close circle of friends.
Okay. Now, do you
And it
think
took me until I was probably about 20, 21 years old until I finally found a
your
circle.
niche? Now, would
Yeah.
you say that it would, and this is for both of you, do you think it would have been better had you just been who, regardless of like friends and all that, like if you just been who, like yourself, essentially, not trying to fit in with any certain niche or anything like that, like just been yourself?
Right.
Or do you think that with kind of the chameleoning into different niches, like, did that help you think, on your path to discover who you were? Like really?
I would say it did.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Yeah.
part of the process.
Yeah.
I would say like if I was different, if I chose to say fuck that, I'm gonna go and just be me,
Mm-hmm.
I would not be the same person I am today.
Okay.
And I love who I am today, honestly. I really do.
Oh, we love you too.
I've been through ass and back, and you know, I honestly, if I just would have said fuck it, I am who I am, and I'm gonna be exactly what I want to be, which is a gamer, nerd, whatever you want to call it. No,
Yeah.
wouldn't have been the same. No, and it would have sucked bad, and I probably would not be even close to the same person that I am today. Which,
Okay.
and I have no regrets at all.
Mm-hmm. So you think it's just kind of part of the growth process?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to be that. Sometimes you have to be somebody different. And that's you know, if that's how you
I
got,
feel like,
if that's how you have to get through it, that's fine.
yeah. Yeah.
Because I had to get through it, and it
What?
worked for me. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about you, Codes?
Oh, can I hear the question one more time?
I had a feeling. So essentially, do you think that, like you said that you were kind of more closed off in middle school, and then kind of made those good friends and were able to kind of be yourself in high school? Do you think that, so I guess for you, do you think that doing the closed offedness and kind of hiding who you were so you weren't bullied, which is really unfortunate because I think a lot of people, regardless of where you're at, are bullied. But do you think that doing that kind of helped you become who you are? Or would you have kind of been who you are? Oh, yeah.
Would you have changed anything?
Right.
Would you have done
Basically.
it differently?
Would you have done it differently?
So, closing myself off through middle school, I think, even though I know, like, overall you're supposed to, like, it's good to embrace yourself and not worry so much about what everybody else is thinking, but I don't think I would change what I did just because it helped me better understand how I want to treat people later on down the line.
Okay. That makes sense.
Especially like when I came out of my shell more in high school. I mean, I was still getting, bullied to oblivion, but it just gave me a better understanding of like how I want to be treated as a person, how I should be treating others. So I realized I don't want to make anyone else feel the way I did for all of my schooling.
That makes sense. I feel like a lot of people, when you're bullied, you either feel that way or you feel like I'm going to make them suffer because I suffered. You know? Like, you either get a good understanding of bullying sucks and it hurts and I don't want to cause anyone to feel this way, at least. Or it's, they made me feel this way. Yeah, what's up?
I had some super middle ground.
Okay.
Like, I had friends that were assholes and bullies, and I also had, like, friends that were bullied. And I kind of just, like, flow under the radar. It's so super sad, but I've watched people get bullied, and I just like kind of just did nothing, but I also didn't join in at the same time. If that makes sense.
It does.
I was like, no, I'm not gonna fucking be a part of this problem, but at the same time, I just don't have the sack.
Now,
honestly,
do you?
It didn't help. It didn't help much that like public school systems tend to like if they see a bullying situation going on, then everybody involved gets in trouble. And
Twitch.
Everybody else catches crap no matter what happened or what the reality is.
And then if you jump in, you're a fucking slug.
So Twitch says,
you could be.
Yeah, and you could become the target too, which sometimes it's cruel. It's not bullying, it's harassment and all that stuff. But Twitch says 4 guys tried to bully me in high school, and threatened to kick my ass. I said go ahead, nothing happened, and that's really lucky that nothing happened to you for sure. My bullying experience is interesting. I was bullied by friends, but also like in high school there was a girl who she was on the heavier set side. You could definitely see her underwear outside her pants, like that kind of stuff. She smelled a little funny, but she was really nice. Like she was a very kind person, all that fun stuff. And this one time she was walking down the hall. Huh?
Just kidding.
Was it you? No. This new Bartholomew. So this one time she's walking down the hall, and these guys are snickering and, just saying nasty things. And I said, you know what? She's nicer than any of you fucks will ever be. I hear you say anything like that out again, and I'll toss you out this fucking window. I had a thing for tossing people out windows because that's not the first time I made that threat. And it's funny because she did not know this. I didn't tell her about it. I didn't, none of that stuff. Right. And after high school, she called me. It was kind of one of those friendships that I'm like, if we lose touch, but she's a nice person. But she called me a little bit after school and said, yeah, after I made friends with you, people left me alone a lot more. And I'm like, you're welcome. So it's nice. Yeah, I don't think I ever bullied anyone. If I do, I don't remember. Which would be a shame, but I I had enough going on at home and shit, and school was already terrible. I didn't have time to bully others. I did punch a kid.
Public school is just an asshole fucking dipstick shit ass of existence.
I thought I killed a kid once. I shit you not. So, okay, story time. So, we're in the fucking bus, right? I'm sitting, minding my own business, got my CD player in, listening to Backstreet Boys.
CD player? What year
Yeah.
was this?
Don't say anything after 2000.
I'm just fucking-
Well, I was gonna say like 2005, but okay. I don't know. I have a CD player. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Maybe an app hood.
I'm just
No,
fucking-
you're fine. So I'm sitting there minding my own fucking business. This dude's like slapping his fucking hands right here on the thing because he's like, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. Stop. Stop it.
Yelling.
Fucking stop. So I'm sitting, sideways because I'm cool. So I'm sitting sideways. He comes up. I get him right here in the chest. Okay? It echoes
Ooh,
through
let's
the
turn 'em.
it echoes through the bus. My bus stop is 20 feet away. He goes, and I'm like, I just killed a man. Stop me yelling me. He was fine. He never did it again.
Right.
I thought I killed a man. A boy.
If I ever end up
Oh.
someday maybe having kids, I'm just like, hey, some dude's fucking with you, just punch him right in the fucking throat.
Hey,
right in the
Halo.
dick, whatever you gotta do.
That reminds me, Halo. My grandma's the one that told me to kick you in the dick all the time. Just so you know. That poor,
Oh, there you go.
poor kid.
Checks out.
Dude,
checks out.
I got hit one time. We were goofing around, and I don't know, maybe revenge. I got kicked right in the friggin' between the legs. I'm like, I have to go home. Because I was like at that age where they were telling me about periods, and I'm like, I think I just started mine. I was kicked in the sack. I was such a stupid child. I was like, oh, this is how it starts. I got kicked so hard, I know a period. Like, yeah, I told you grandma was a bitch.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I'm like, Grandma, because, I was a fucking little girl. Grandma, he's being mean to me. Kick him in the dick! Okay! But most times it was an accident, not gonna lie.
It makes me think of the grab his dick and twist it.
Ooh. Now I want a dick, so now I'm all
Oh, dude, this is
confused.
another big one, dude.
It's the old dick twist.
Bop it. Twist it. Don't.
Pull it.
Pull it. Give me back my son.
But yeah.
Oh no.
So, Listen, I was bullied, but at a distance after I punched the kid in the arm and left a bruise. It was a distance thing.
Oh man, bullying in high school was probably the worst part of it too. Because like middle
Mine was
school is
middle
one thing,
school.
because like everybody's pretty much just a kid and kids are mean, and I kind of get it. But like, man, high school people started getting clever.
High school, I was pretty much left alone because they knew I was just mean. Eventually, I wasn't mean, but had a mean air about me. What did my one friend say? She said that I walked with an air that no dude would want me, and I'm like, good, my dick's bigger. I got 8 inches of pure BDE stuffed inside of me, ready to come out like a cobra.
I remember so many of my yearbook signatures would say stuff like, when we
Poor
first
Halo.
met, I thought you were really intimidating. I was scared. I was like, I gotta fix my resting bitch face.
No, just walk forward through a crowd and think murder, and you can part any sea.
Oh yeah, no, I just have to walk like I'm on a mission and nobody comes close because they don't want to get bowled over.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. What about you, Lancery? I was
I'm
gonna say.
5'6" and 160 pounds.
I got you beat.
Don't have that one.
Got you
Oh,
beat on
man, I
both
could knock
ends.
somebody over and you just hear a voice in the air
He's
going,
so cute.
splatter
See,
kill.
that's why I carry firearms.
Your arms are on fire? Get a fire extinguisher.
Exactly.
His
Just
arms
charges
are
through
on
a crowd
fire!
screaming bloody murder and then they move. You don't have to look like you're on a mission. Just light your fucking arms on fire.
Right.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
shit.
Halo. I still feel bad. I don't forget.
Never forget.
But you still had kids, so I didn't ruin you. Yay! Wait.
This is for everybody, actually.
Bruh, I'm running out of hydrate. I'm only gonna hydrate.
Sorry to care about your health.
It's Bob!
Drink some water, goddamn!
No.
Yeah. The pop's a bit counterproductive for hydration, isn't it?
I'm talking about kicking you in the balls.
Ow, don't do that.
He asked what I'm talking about. I'm letting him know. Oh, the testiculars. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
That could be considered as deadly assault, and that's how you can get shot. Just by the way, in the state of Michigan, don't
Do you want to know another thing that's really fun about balls? Did you know that as you age as little men and boys, that your testicles will slowly sag, and eventually you'll wake up with them in your ass crack?
Yeah.
I want
happens to me
that.
all the time.
I want that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
I accidentally sat on one once.
Here's a
Stole
fun
her.
fucking
That's what
story
I said. I'm like, I didn't neuter you, so good to go.
Here's a fun story about that. I drive a manual car.
Yeah.
I have a clutch, a brake, and a gas pedal. Right.
What are those things? You'll have to tell me. I'm a woman.
I'm not saying that you aren't. I'm just saying that's what a manual car has, and the fact is...
I'm being facetious. I've been around cars for 32 years.
When you drive that from Grand Haven to Ann Arbor, which is about 2.5 hours of highway, you happen to have a lot of fucking shifting and sitting on your own ball sack as a man. It starts to fucking hurt.
Move them! Do one of these!
You know what hurts more? The fucking hand puppet.
Yeah, it does. I was trying to ignore it.
That stings in a different way. I'm very good at hurting men.
One's my butt and one's my nut.
Well, at least it's not a cactus like undisclosed phone store with no lube.
It wasn't there.
Crack balls. So, like, I don't understand. You know what? I'm not going to talk about it. Never mind. That's fine. Okay. Anyway.
Move on. Next topic. Do you have talking points at all? Do you have a slide?
No. I literally wing this. Oh. I talk about what comes up. I talk about... I'm very good at winging things. So, there's no... Wings. Dude, I love don't... My diabetes is aflame with the thought of eating barbecue wings.
Have you seen the new Flaming Hot Cheeto wings from Buffalo Wild Wings?
No, I don't eat crap.
Oh, they look so good.
They do look really good.
Oh my god, I'm trying them so bad.
Yeah, and a human thigh looks really good, but here I am not eating that either. There's the topic, cannibalism. It's called can, not can't. Fight me? It's not illegal. It's not. It's not illegal. Cannibalism's not illegal. Desecration of a corpse and desecration of a corpse and murdering someone is illegal. Cannibalism in and of itself, like taking a little snacky snoo, because there's auto-cannibalism, which you know when you chew the inside of your lips. Guess what you're doing? Cannibalism. Auto-cannibalism is what it's called.
Ooh, yummy. Yeah,
mine are all scarred and stuff. Actually, that's from Go-Gurt, but whatever. I'm serious.
Okay.
I'm serious. Right here on the inside of my lips. Because I was a fucking idiot as a child. And I'd suck on the Go-Gurt things, but I'd like put them in my mouth.
Without taking the cap off.
And like... I was the fucking dumbass. It's fine. It's fine.
There was once a girl that I dated that had teeth marks right here. That was from something different.
Weird.
You know what I'm saying? She was a slut.
Gross. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it was pretty gross. Ugh.
I'm excessively great at getting a harem. But not excessively great at, oh, you have no idea, dear sweet love child.
You're right. I
You
know.
you don't. You don't. It's because I'm so charming and nice, and I just reek, but still.
What? Yeah, I was like, where are you going with this?
Oh, you know exactly where. But anyway, let's see. Talked about growing up. Talked about. I think too, it's hard. Like, how often would you say that you realistically, like, stop, for both of you, that you realistically, like, stop, kind of look back, and you're like, good for me. Look what I did. I did it. Wow.
What do you mean?
How often would you say that you, like, stop what you're doing, kind of take that step back, and recognize the achievements that you've done thus far in your life?
I think every time I hit like a particular milestone, I tend to turn around and kind of look back and go, "Yeah, I've come a ways."
Thank you, R&B, for the subscription. I appreciate it. Look,
R&B,
you put a
you
little
rock star of a man, you.
put a little feller into the jar.
I feel like I do that quite often.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty genuinely normal.
But is it for, would you say it's for more, pardon me, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say superficial, but maybe, like, R&B, you're welcome to join as well if you want. We're kind of just having a general discussion with Lancery and Codathan. I don't want to say superficial, but I mean, I guess like an overall view of your life. Like from where you were like as a kid to the struggles that you've had to where you are now.
Yeah, no, I would definitely say I grew up as a relatively poor child.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the poverty line quite often. Which yeah, no, not in that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Do you measure your growth? How do you measure your growth?
It's hard to talk about success for me
Okay.
because I don't like talking about I don't like boasting. I try not to at least.
Mhm.
It makes me feel a little bit better about myself. I'm not gonna lie. Like for me personally, I do like showing off as much as I can to just show that like I got here from shit.
Mhm.
But it's hard for me to like actually say.
So you would rather have your items or things like that. You'd rather have it be shown than told, type thing. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess so.
You'd rather have your items speak your journey for you
Let the
versus
accomplishments speak for themselves.
Yeah, but like that's tough. That's tough to talk about, like especially right now. Like and now like the way that the world is right now specifically, it's hard to say, "Hey, look what I did," because people are like, "Fuck you, you suck."
I do feel
like,
that
Ah,
there's
yes, the
okay.
internet. Yeah.
But I also feel that
Like,
even
I'm pretty proud of myself. Okay, that's fine. And then you kind of like duck into yourself, even though you spent whatever money and time hours and like jobs and whatever schooling it may have taken. And, like it seems like it's just never enough, which is horrible. It should never be like that, but it is like that. You know? Does that make sense?
It does.
So like it's hard for me to say, what are you proud of? Well, I guess nothing. That's what the answer is. I guess nothing. Even though I've worked my fucking ass off to where I am now and where my significant other is now, you know, it's tough.
I do feel that the world is more, even like not even online necessarily, but even in person kind of things are very much more negative because it's not, everyone's a lot more selfish, it feels, you know. They can't be happy for your success because it's not their success.
It's because nobody wants to be happy about the positive things. They just want to see well negative things have much more impact no matter what. Well,
I
well,
agree and disagree.
I would say that if you usually compare one negative to one positive, the positive is always undermined for the most part. Depending on what the positive is, of course, But for the most part, if you're comparing something that may have happened in my life, a negative and a positive, the negative is always more important because that seems that like we thrive on that trauma, which is sad, but it's true.
Let's see. Halo says people wants to just attack the negative rather than enjoy your achievements. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. And
Yeah, strangers aren't really that into supporting each
It's
other as much
much
as.
more entertaining for a stranger to look
I
at the things that you haven't been able to accomplish than the things that you have because they see the things that you have done and they're like, oh fuck that. Well, I haven't been able to done that because they're younger than me, they're smarter than me, they're whatever that may be. They just immediately dismiss it because they're like, oh well, they're only doing that because of this. They're only able to do that because they've been
spoon fed
whatever.
it type thing.
Exactly. Yeah. No, they never see the hard work that gets put into achievements. They always want to see why people are struggling because it makes them feel better about themselves and their position. And it's kind of a mass produced idea, which is unfortunate as fuck. It's really unfortunate because I
See,
think we should all be able to build off of each other's accomplishments. Hey, this is what I did. This.
I
You should
agree.
do that.
And
And
I
instead, it's the opposite.
personally, like part of the community that I'm personally trying to grow here on Twitch and things like that is there we go. Is one that's very supportive of each other because
Mhm.
that's why like I have the birthday thing. Like, yes, birthdays are simple, and some people don't like to celebrate them, but you've made it one more year. Like everything that you've been through, you've made it one more year. If that's the only thing that you've done it. You know, and that's something
Right.
to be celebrated. But that's, and I think that's one reason that, not to, toot my own horn or anything, but I do have a lot of people, that like talk to me and stuff like that, which is great. I don't mind at all. And the thing that bothers me the most when people want to talk to me is that they call themselves a burden. No one's a burden personally, because I understand that I can't fix their problem. I can only listen and stuff like that. Like I'm not going to expect myself to fix their problem. So no one's really a
Yeah.
burden, but I feel that so many people have been told that they're a burden, that they only, so you don't really have that support system yourself. So when you see a stranger trying to not boast, but even just like, oh, I did this thing and I'm so happy about it. And like, let's say you're in the gas station, you're like, I just made my first sale in a car, and whatever.
Yeah.
And like people see you stupid happy and they're like, fuck's wrong with you? It's like, I just sold my first car. And they're like, okay, so you're a sleazy salesman,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think, I don't know. I don't know what it is with the world and why we can't support each other, but that's what I'd like here, is that we can, support the little achievements, the big achievements, all of that, because they deserve to be
You're not
celebrated.
allowed.
Well, too bad.
You're
I'm
not
going to
allowed.
anyway. I'm going to
Yeah,
anyway.
but that's the ideology that you keep getting fed.
I know. And I
So
think,
you're not allowed to be happy
right.
about
And I you know what?
anything that you do or them.
I'm almost going to counter that. I'm going to say that you're encouraged to, the fake it till you make it thing is pushed to an extreme. If you're not happy, then you're just fucking trash. Like, so many people have to fake the happiness that it just makes them miserable, and rather than feel the feelings that they're having of negativity or loneliness or depression, whatever it is, like, yes, you don't let it consume you, but you have to acknowledge that you're having those feelings, or they will consume you because you're just putting on a fake smile for everyone. Does that make sense?
No, I get you.
And I think
got you
that
100%
pushes.
because like, what's the point of doing anything in your life
Yeah, if you gotta
if
fake.
you're not able to express it?
Right.
What's the point?
Right, and then I think in that regard, like, let's say my example of like a car salesman in a gas station being genuinely happy, it's not that they're not happy for you as much as they're upset that they can't genuinely be happy as well, and they have to fake their own happiness. Because if they don't,
even worse than that, my biggest pet peeve of all time
hmm,
is when you try to display a form of unhappiness.
mm-hmm,
Like, I am upset because I wasn't able to do this, or you tell a story of where you had a negative experience on anything, and then somebody tries to one-up it with why they
Oh my
had
God, yeah.
anything worse, or why they'll try to tell you any story at all that was worse than what you just had, and say why they're in a worse spot or why you should feel worse for them than for yourself.
Yeah.
That is my biggest fucking
I
pet
do
peeve.
I do feel that gets, cuz like for me, depending on the person, let's say that you're talking to me about, I'll do an easy one, someone passing away. Like I might use one of my relatives that have passed away as like an empathy thing, like I understand where you're coming from because I experienced this.
Yeah, I do too.
But
That's different.
it is different, but it can lead into the same thing. Because
Yeah.
let's say, like, you're telling me, like, someone passed away, and I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, my grandpa, this happened. And then I continue to go into, like, memories of my grandfather and this, that, and the other thing. I have now taken the focus away from you and your problem
Right.
and brought it to myself, and that's not proper either. There's a difference between giving empathy to a friend.
Sympathy.
Right, empathy, sympathy, compassion. There's a difference between, dude, I get it, this happened to me too. Like, hey, tell me some memories of said person, you know, or something like that, like leading it back.
Like relating.
Right, relate your story and then give it back to the person who initially came to you for help. And
Or like
it's,
gaslighting where you're like, oh, that's nothing because this is what happened to me. It was
Yeah.
way worse.
and that's,
You're like, dude, shut up.
but that's not, I don't
Yeah.
feel that that's how a genuine person who cares and understands and wants your best interest would act, personally. Because maybe it's just me and I'm fucking weird, but that's not what I do.
No, that's a specific kind of thing called being a sociopath
Narcissism.
or narcissism. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's a bunch of crazy stuff.
And I think a lot of it too is, I don't know, would you say that you notice that it's a generational thing? Or is it kind of an
No.
all over the board thing? Okay.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's pretty much all over the board.
All over the board?
If you're born and raised as somebody who feels nothing or who can say something and not having any remorse, you have to be born and raised in an environment where you become that as far as being a sociopath or a narcissist or something like that's not something that is born as a whole generation. You have to be trained. I hate the word trained, but you have to be trained that way. You really do.
Would you
It's
like
a
to
nature
hear?
versus nurture sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Would you like to hear a conspiracy theory?
Always.
Every damn time.
There's a thought in the world that all or most of the boomers have lead poisoning. Because, reason why, is when you do like a core in the earth kind of thing, you know? Well, the big boom of the industrial era and all that fun stuff, there's a layer of lead, like sediment from all the factories and stuff producing things with lead in it, about when the boomers were born and such.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the side effects of lead poisoning? Irrational anger. Like all these other kind of things that a lot of boomers are known for.
Oh man, where have all the three of us experienced people with irrational anger issues? I can't quite put my finger on it. I feel like there was one central location where we may have all three of us experienced this exact symptom.
Undisclosed cell phone
Cody's
location.
going through lead poisoning. He's crazy.
No, it's like it's a conspiracy theory, which I thought was really interesting. You got a good idea, Halo? What is it? Tell me. What is it? I'm ready for good ideas. Most boomers are just not my cup of tea.
Feel that. And it sucks to say because I've met so many really nice ones. But then it's just you kind of look at the average and you're just like, oh man, I'm not trying to generalize, but like, generalizations.
The biggest one for
yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, you can go. Go ahead.
I think that it's hard to judge characteristics on a generation like status because there's so many motherfucking people in every generation.
There is.
Especially nowadays. But
there is.
there is a generational problem with a lot of people as far as the majority goes. But there's a lot of people that you meet in each generation that actually fucking get it. It's not a generational problem.
Okay.
It's an intelligence problem. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
I see.
There's
what you
people
mean
that
there.
like there's people that are smart that have gone through college, that have gone through whatever life experience that it takes them to get to the point where they can actually understand that there's other outside thinking than their own,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a generational problem, which I get. I get it's a majority issue with most generations, but
Like,
but
there's
in general,
outliers in every bell curve.
there's just there's just an intelligence issue, unfortunately, because there's so many of us and so many meshing ideologies and like like directions of thinking that there's just an impossible
I think, though,
normal. There's an impossible normal, if that makes sense.
it does. I think with the intelligence curve, like you were talking about, like, you don't necessarily have to go to college to be intelligent. Like, my dad's never been to college, and he's excessively intelligent. He's smarter than I could ever hope to be. But anyway,
I didn't.
they're right, and you're smart.
Well, I don't consider myself intelligent, but like there's certain levels of knowledge.
Yeah.
Per person.
Not intelligence, wisdom. There is a difference between intelligence and wisdom.
Right.
One of my biggest pet peeves kind of comes from the intelligence curve. If you are a functioning cognitive adult and you tell me that you want 4 cheeseburgers, we're gonna have a fucking problem. I can't. If you cannot enunciate your R's, I don't want to talk to you. You only frustrate me.
I thought you were like harping on the number of cheeseburgers.
No,
I was like, hold
no.
up, no, we need
Hey,
to talk.
I want 4 cheeseburgers. You want fucking what? Like, I can fucking not. You are a
If we're gonna talk
goddamn
about how
50-year-old
people
person.
How about people that say them instead of those?
Some intelligent people that were dumb.
That legitimately can't think of they just for the life of them can't figure out the difference between there and there.
Yeah. So,
Like, wow.
you know what? I can forgive that. I can forgive. I don't care about.
you?
I don't care about stutters. Well, can I?
First thing you learn.
I don't care about stutters. I don't care about lisps. I don't care about none of that. When you're speeching, articulating yourself, and you nailing fucking, it's an R. Nuts.
One of my biggest fears is like, or not fears. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people just.
These are my pets.
And unfortunately, it's on the internet, which we shouldn't pay any fucking mind to because anybody can have it. But where anybody just can go and have a comment about anything they want to, they can have a brilliant idea, and then they misspell every fucking word in it. And then they have every comment that is just.
Are you talking about R Smart on fucking Reddit?
You're just like, why?
R Smart.
Why have you even tried? Why have you even tried?
J Twitch
Also,
says.
Why is there not a rule where you can just fuck off forever? Yeah, book smart and street smart. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and you do need
book smarts. Like my wife is book smarts. I'm street smarts.
I hereby sentence you to 14 years of fucking somewhere else. Please go.
Alcatraz.
Yeah. So my wife is this. Anything she can read or do anything like where she can like actually sit there and study. She is so smart. She'll get A's no matter what. She can sit there and do it. That's why she makes way more money than I do. But at the same time, there's the street smarts where if something happens in front of you, you need to know how to react, or else you don't have street smarts, or you can end up dying right then and there. If you
I'm
don't
holding
have
a
the
joke
ability to
in.
react to it. Go for it.
But you can't see in front of her face. What are you talking about? That's rude.
God damn it.
Bro. Oh, we got really good news the other day, but that can wait till later. But
Okay. Yeah, no good news during negative hour, I guess.
yeah.
No, don't shift the dynamic right now.
No, but yeah, you do need a little. You need
You do need both.
a healthy balance of both, which I don't have. I'm completely comfortable saying I only have streets. I don't have book. If you put me in a classroom right now and you told me, hey, here's what we're studying for a chapter, and go study that and then have a test on it, and I'd be like, okay, well, fuck that. I'm gonna fail it. I'll tell you that right now.
Mm.
But the street stuff where you're looking at
I
how
like to think.
write your taxes or how to do whatever. Like I can do that. I don't have both, unfortunately. But my wife has the books. So like it definitely.
So you balance each other out.
Yeah, it's great. We make a great team. It's amazing.
See, I'm kind of on the opposite end of that spectrum. I'm pretty solid with like I can handle academics decently. I'm good with puzzle solving and like problem solving. But on the other hand, I've also accepted rides from strangers like not that long ago. So it's kind of
I watch too many murder mysteries. Like I like to think I'm a healthy mix of both. You don't want to know what's in my car. Stuff to collect bones. But I like to think cuz like with being in commercial insurance, I've got to be relatively smart. No, no, Bartholomew.
Well, they tell you being in any profession that you have to be a certain amount of smart, but it's just not true.
I think it depends on the profession.
Depends on
To
the
be fair.
profession. That's what I'm saying. Depends on the profession.
He's purring,
say-
but his tail's flicking, so I'm not sure what we're feeling today. What are we feeling today, Barty?
Is it flicking left or right?
Yeah. He's
Means
mad.
He wants you to fuck off.
No.
Bartholomew's too snuggly.
No.
Look at him.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shoot. He doesn't give two hoots what I do.
Puppet baby.
He is. Furry little puppet baby. Oh, he quit purring. Hi, Barty. Oh, he's purring again. And psh, and psh, and psh, psh. Get him, Barty. Psh. Well, bye.
Rock him, sock him, cat bot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get him.
But no, I think you do need both, and I think I don't know. What do you think? I think my cat farted as he left. Yeah.
That was his plan all along.
Or it's Buster. Buster, you flirting? Oh, Bartholomew's attacking Buster. Bartholomew. He has 3 names.
Nice.
Bartholomew, Barty, and Bartholomew. Get him, Buster! He weighs the size of your foot.
Junior.
Alright, don't then. But anyway, so Buster. Buster has an appointment May 10th. I don't know if I've told you guys this or not.
No.
We haven't talked in a while. I haven't told you a lot of stuff. But
It's
no.
been like
Dude, it's been a while. Yeah. Buster has an appointment May 10th to kind of determine his quality of life and where we're going to go from there.
Oh, not Buster.
Yeah.
Those meetings are always difficult.
My baby boy Buster, do you want to be on my lap? Where are you? He's by my chair. That could be a yes. But he's got bumps. Like he's got a solid 5 like lumps like this big on his body. And his back legs kind of they just don't sometimes. And he was vomiting rather often. He stopped that, so which is good. But I think he was getting in the kitty litter, so I stopped that. He's been pottying inside, which he doesn't get in trouble for. He's old. And then the biggest thing is like he shakes. And it's not because he's cold. Like you can see, when like someone's upset, you can kind of see like their jaw clench and stuff. He does that as he's shaking, and I've heard his teeth like kind of grind together once or twice. And I try to comfort him. I put a blanket over him. I have a little space heater. I'll be freezing. I put it on him, just in case he was cold. And I don't know. So
does he kind of tense up when he's doing that, like in his body?
Not necessarily. His face mostly, I would say.
Because if his body's like tightening up and seizing up, that could be a seizure as well. I know my Akita Griffin used to do that.
I call it puppy Parkinson's. So that's what I've been calling
Well,
it. Could be.
Fair enough.
does make it easier to handle.
Yeah. But I asked my dad to come with me that day and stuff because he's, of everyone, he's probably around Buster the most, you know, and would have the most neutral thing, you know, logic thing to say. Because like even with Grandpa, I'm like, oh, like, keep him alive forever. You can do that, you know. No, so we'll see. We'll see. But if I do, I'm probably gonna have a little party for him. Like if it's not good. We'll probably have a little party for Bubba's, so everyone can kind of come, say hello, goodbye, whatever. So, yeah,
Sure.
I think it'd be nice.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's just a quality of life checkup kind of thing. So, yeah. And I've never lost a pet like this before. I've lost people, but not like really deep pets. Like I've never had a dog before.
Somebody that you
Supposedly.
unconditionally love no matter what.
Yeah, and who I know unconditionally loves me too. Like if Buster was in the perfect health and I left and didn't come back, he would starve to death. He knows my dad. Like he's known my dad as long as I've had him. And I left him here for I think it was 3 or 4 days, and Dad was taking care of him. He quit eating after day 2. He just quit.
Oh my.
Yeah, he won't. So it's, I don't know. I think with even some of my really good friends, you know, he'd eat for a little bit, but I think he'd stop after a while. So he loves me. Bubba's loves Mama. But yeah. So it's gonna be heartbreaking. Depends. We'll see how it goes. But I don't want him to be miserable. You know, that's not fair to him.
That's also
So.
true, yeah.
Yeah.
It's selfish,
Yeah,
I think.
losing pets sucks.
It does. And it's one of those, like, I'm familiar with the concept of, like, keeping someone alive for your own needs is selfish, and you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, agreed, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We've
There's
talked
no
about
point
it here
keeping
before.
somebody suffering because
There's not.
there's no point in keeping somebody suffering because you want them around longer. It's
Right.
like the worst explanation.
No, but it's difficult, like, the answer's in front of your face, but, like, because I have...
Never easy.
No, and I have that
Never.
same kind of guilt, like, with my grandpa and stuff, still to this day, you know, because, like, I was his executioner, or not executioner, but, like, what do they call it? Not financial advisor,
Puller?
the attorney.
Power of attorney.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
But and he told me, he's like, if it gets to the point where he has to be on life support, he doesn't want to be on life support. You know, he's 90 years old. He's good. Well, he had a heart issue, and they took him to Grand Rapids, and that they were pumping him full of these meds and stuff. And he's like, he was high, and they're like, well, they could intubate him, so put the tube, you know, so help him breathe and stuff, and then kind of see where he was at in the morning. And my dad was there, and my cousin had come up from Ohio, and we're talking about it, and Dad's like, he doesn't want to be intubated. That's technically life support. You know, he doesn't want that. And it was kind of like, the doctor said, they're like, we've tried everything. They literally, one time, they killed him, stopped his heart, waited 2 minutes, and, like, restarted his heart or something, because he had something wrong with his heart, a heart murmur or whatever. So I had to make the call and tell the doctor, we're not doing it, just let him go, and we'll see if he makes it through the night. Well, he didn't. And it's just it's very difficult. But I don't know, it's not a choice I would want anyone to have to make, but I understand that most people have to. And this is where I think assisted unaliving, I think that should be a thing. I really fucking do. I do not think it's fair that prisoners on death row who have committed atrocities get to just fall asleep via lethal injection. And when you pass away in other means, like naturally or whatever in a hospital, you basically choke on your own fluids as you go. You're asleep for most of it because you're so drugged up, but that's essentially how you go. It's not pleasant for your family that has to watch you if they go there. Like, it's not... why do they have to do that when they can't just, hey, like if you're diagnosed with, let's say, cancer. This is my opinion. You can share if you agree or not. If you're diagnosed with cancer,
I'm with you on this one. We've talked about this.
and yeah, and if you're your sound mind and all that stuff, I think you should be able to sign a document that says, look, if treatments don't work, if we've tried everything, if I'm just not gonna make it, I want this, the assisted unaliving. I think that should be perfectly fine, and right. Halo agrees. I don't think there's any harm in that, because what's the fucking point? What is the point? I cannot tell you.
What are you saving? What kind of humanity are you saving? You fucked up bad.
And this gentleman who I knew, I've watched a lot of people die. This dude that I knew, like, from church or whatever, he had esophagus cancer. It was like watching someone who was like kind of like fluffy, like me. He's a 200-pound plus gentleman. And he looked like a Holocaust victim when he died, because it was in his esophagus. He couldn't eat, but they could give him IVs. And he's like, I don't want to prolong this. I want to die. We'd often talk about when it would happen. He's like, I hope it's this Friday. I'm like, Jerry, you thought it was last Friday too. Like, like, it's not, just waiting to die is awful. It's awful for everyone involved. It's
in and out. The penal system is gross.
Yeah. Well, and the reason why is because there's money in death. There's money in keeping you alive.
Yep.
There really is. And I firmly believe in United Healthcare. Or health insurance or whatever.
Cash.
It is. It's terrible. And Coda, do you have any input? I know you've been kind of quiet for this topic.
Sorry, I've just been listening pretty intently. I'm very much in the same boat. I mean, I keep thinking, if I were in a situation like that where like say if I was like basically spending all of my time in a hospital, no real chances of like getting out and living a life afterwards.
And you committed murder.
Maybe that's what I'll do.
I'm a killer, apparently. I just can't.
Well,
I keep telling myself,
like, why do prisoners get to keep left alive?
Yeah. Well, it's why do they get the
topic of the assisted anti-life.
Yeah. Why do they? My big thing is, like, why do prisoners get to pass peacefully, and people who have done no wrong have to?
People who've done such horrible things, they get, like you said, they get to just fall asleep. Meanwhile, there are people who, like, if they get injured and somebody tries to call an ambulance, they're literally going to say, please don't, I can't afford an ambulance.
That's me.
I can't afford to go to the ER.
It's fucking me, straight up. I was shot. That's fine. It's a flesh wound.
Mostly messed up. Like, it's only an American problem.
It's
that too. I still know people who like know this, who know that like pretty much the rest of the world has universal health care.
Yeah.
And they still say that we should keep our health care the way it is.
Most of Europe is like, what the fuck are they doing?
Well, the biggest...
they hear about it and they lose their minds.
The biggest argument is that you can't go see a doctor. And I got a friend in Canada who... Yes, to see, like, your regular doctor, there's a wait list. But if you're having a serious problem, to my understanding, if you're having a serious problem, like, you can get in and find out what it is and get out. There was a lady who, I think she was don't quote me, I think she was on a work visa for, like, Sweden or something. And she felt a lump in her chest, so she went in to, hey, I found this. They're like, okay, well, let's get you signed up for a biopsy. And she's thinking it's going to be 3 months down the road, like America, No, she's like,
it was like
go.
The same day,
she's like, go. They're like, go down the hall. It's on the left. We'll get you biopsied, mammogrammed, X-rayed, all that. See whatever they got to do. And she knew within like 2 weeks that it was not cancer. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, are you fucking insane? It's. And then as someone who has diabetes, I've had to hear stories of kids younger than me who literally, because a lot of insulin comes in, I don't have anything similar, but, little jars, and you take, it's good. But you take your needle, take the insulin and stuff, and they have to wean themselves as much as they can on this little vial because this is all they have left. This is as much as they can afford. Meanwhile, my fucking brother who's addicted to meth can go into a clinic and get free methamphetamines because, oh my god, addiction's a fucking disease. Don't get me started. I don't care what everyone's opinion is.
Yep.
Addiction's a lack of will fucking power. Not a disease. That's my personal opinion. If you understand that you have a tendency to get addicted to things, don't do
There's
them.
choices, and there's not choices.
Wow. Did you not watch the Dare program? Like you don't have to wait here anyway, right?
It's not that.
Right, exactly,
there's
Halo.
Choices and there's not choices.
Right. And
Yeah.
it pisses me off to no end that he could go that he can go get fucking meth for what the fuck ever, and if I can't afford my insulin,
you die.
sorry. Yeah, there was a kid who was 23 who was trying to use his insulin sparsely, and he ended up dying because he couldn't afford his stuff. Oh, don't get me started on mental health. Bruh, I have a therapist.
Well, heroin's a lot cheaper, and if we can choose to afford to treat them for a lot cheaper, then...
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people have trust issues with doctors, and I think a lot of doctors genuinely want to help you. I really do.
Yeah.
I
think most of it is pharma.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All insulin is fucking pig insulin or fake insulin. I was gonna say false and fake, and I got fake. That's all it is. Essentially, it's made in a lab, for fucking $30 a bottle, and I have to pay $180.
I won't even say it's that much.
Yeah, I know. I'm being.
It's horribly it's really horribly inexpensive to obtain, and that's one of the worst things.
Yeah.
It's insulin, and
it is ridiculous.
And you know what's horrible is the most common diseases that you need medicine for, like asthma, diabetes. I mean, fuck, you could name 6 or 7 of them. But those are the ones that are the hardest to get medications for.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know. And it's really hard.
Well,
Halo.
No, I do know though. It's because those are the hardest ones. They're the hardest ones to obtain because of money wise, because they're the most common.
Yeah, probably.
That's it. They want to make the money on the most common ones that they can.
Well, and Halo was saying, mental health and pills are expensive and stuff, and that's true too, because I don't know. I see a therapist, and I'm pretty open about that. And I think that it helps, and I also think that a lot of times with mental illness too, and the thing with therapy is you have to want to go for it to, in my opinion. I had to want to go to identify, you had mentioned before, identifying a problem and finding a solution. I had wanted to go for it to make any iota of difference to me. And because I don't think it realistically is super beneficial if you're forced to go, unless you inside you have that desire, but you need that little push to actually go.
You have to be really young, because I was forced to go, but I was 8.
Same.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it didn't work for the first year. The same lady, and then she ended up getting me to talk or whatever. But it didn't. I wouldn't say it helped, but I did talk. I will say that.
I think there's still a relief, even if
But it's nice to talk to somebody who's not being judgmental like a prick.
Right. Yeah. And who kind of questions your train of thought on things too, I think is really beneficial.
Right.
Personally, because she challenges me a lot. We had a whole ass therapy session about cannibalism. Because even my therapist can't tell if I'm joking or not, and it kind of makes me giggle. It's like, most of it's a joke. I don't think it's proper for people to go out and start cannibalizing and killing each other. Now, if you're in jail and you're a pedophile and the guy in the next cell gets a little hungry and comes in for a little sneaky snack, like,
Yeah.
it depends. Being forced usually doesn't.
There
Yeah,
should
I
always
agree,
be a
Halo.
safe space where you can talk about something that maybe you're like, eh, and then you let the people that are like, hey, not bad.
Yeah.
Then
Well,
they can put you in jail.
yeah.
No, I'm just fucking around.
Yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying. Definitely.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know. Because, just in my experience, I've had a few therapists, and I didn't want to go see them. Because I didn't trust them. Why would I? You know, why would I trust a stranger with anything? No one helped me before. Why would this person suddenly have answers?
Yeah.
Or understand, you know? Because I think as a child, because that's when I went mostly, was as a kid, like, you want to seek that understanding from someone, but, like, a stranger's not gonna, you're not gonna feel like they're gonna understand you as a kid, you know?
They never did.
Yeah, so getting the right one really makes a difference. It really does, Halo. It really does.
Definitely does.
Yeah. It really does. And that's kind of why I like to have these talks too. Because some people honestly also can't afford therapy. And I'm not saying I'm a fucking therapist, but
and they stick with the first one, and it's never
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Well, and
You have to understand when a therapist isn't good for you. You have to have
Yeah.
a chemistry, just
Yeah.
like a relationship. You have a
Yeah.
relationship with your therapist.
You do. You do, and
It's
it's
the same
okay
thing.
to take it slow too. Like I told
Absolutely.
myself when I went to therapy that I was going to be 100% honest with her. With if she asked me a challenging question, I was going to be honest with how I felt about it, and that was something I promised myself. She didn't make me promise it or anything. That was something that I wanted to do to better understand and hopefully, you know, get better. Because at the time I was dating my ex-fiance and losing my fucking mind.
You want to know a super crazy story about how I ended up in sales?
Sure, let's go.
When I was first in therapy, I was probably 14, 15 years old. I'm now 24, about to turn 25 in 2
Such a
months.
baby.
I know. But anyway, I was about 14, 15 years, so probably 10 years ago. I originally had moved in with my dad and my stepmom, who I did not get along with. Ended up having some altercations with them, and I ended up having to go to a court-ordered therapy sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up going to this guy. His name was Ray. He was super cool, which at the first spot I was like, no, fuck this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I sat on his couch for 4 1 hour sessions straight. I did not say a fucking word to him. And you know what he did? He said, that's fine. We don't have to talk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my book that he wrote, which are very fantastic books. I actually own every single one that he owns now, or that he's like written now.
Mm-hmm.
He said, fine. So if you don't want to talk, that doesn't matter. I'm paid for. And I said, fuck, I like this guy. I was just sat there. I just sat there. And he read his book chapter by fucking chapter, 4 books over 4 1 hour sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened. He knew how to get there, and I didn't want to at all. And there, that's a magnificent trade, I should add.
It
But
is.
yeah, no, it's never bad to get help,
It's
because if
not.
you find the right person, which I did, I found the right. It was 4 therapists later. I found the right person. He knew how to break through to me, and he knew how to get me to start talking because I needed to. I really did. I really needed to,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps. If you feel like you ever need to have any kind of help, whether it be, I can't even say it. There's so many kinds of help that's needed, honestly. If you
Yeah.
really think that you need any kind of help, a therapist helps a lot. It really, really does.
Yeah.
And I was so skeptical. Like I said, 4 sessions, 1 hour sessions. I sat there on a chest like this. I did nothing. Did not care. Did not care at all. I wanted to be done and over with it. And then eventually now, like, we're friends on Facebook. We message each other all the time.
Aw, that's
I'm not. I
nice.
don't even have a therapist like recommended to me at all anymore. But like
Mhm.
him and I, just like we like it helped a lot. It really did.
Mhm.
And some people, a lot of people just really need that. You need that negative space to go there, and you need to go in that room, whether you're paying for it or whether you're not. It doesn't matter. You just need to go there and just talk it out, and it helps
It
so
does.
much.
I
It
think
helps a
too,
lot of people.
for a lot of people though, I know for myself it was difficult because I wanted to do it on my own,
Hmm.
and I
And
think a
that was
lot of
my problem too.
yeah, and I think a lot of people struggle with that. You want to do things on your own power, and like we as
Yes, you
content
can.
creators, you can't sometimes, and like we as content creators, like you like to make things with your own hands, whether it be videos, entertainment, art, whatever it might be, like you still like to create something, and I think that kind of ties in with doing things on your own, but there's going to be times like in the wagon of life that you have on your little fucking trail, of life. There's going to be times where your wheel's going to bust and you're going to be on the side of the road and you're going to need a hand, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with having someone assist you. Now there is something wrong with,
Absolutely nothing wrong with
let's say you're like faking a leg injury, right? And it's hard for you to pull your cart, but really it's easy. You're just faking a leg injury and people are giving you this help and stuff, but you proceed to just fake it, that you're hurt or something like that.
that. That
That's
really
not
never is okay.
it's not okay to, there's times where you might need help, a little more help than getting up out of the ground. You might need a little help kind of getting your wagon started again. That's
Always
okay.
okay.
That's completely
Always.
fine. There's no, and like I like to say, there's really also no time limit on grief and stuff either. Like people are expected to be happy about after, well, they've been gone for 2 years, get over it type thing. Well, that's not nice. That's not appropriate. You're allowed
Actually,
to.
I do want to touch on something that Halo said.
Sure, yeah,
He
let's go.
said he said he think it does depends, but being forced usually doesn't help.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. It never helped.
Yeah.
Well, I was forced to see my therapist. It did not fucking help at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, and I agree. That
But
was.
but I will say I was forced and I hated it so fucking much. I was so mad. I was so pissed at my parents. I even got to the point where I ended up going to court for physical altercations with them.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy stuff. But I did end up finding my own therapist that has mellowed me the fuck out. I
Here's
should
a
say.
here's a question.
And it
Do you
helped.
think that being forced to go opened the door for you?
No,
No. Okay. Do you think you would have gone of your own volition regardless of being forced or
nope,
not? No.
absolutely not. No, that's where I see that middle ground with Halo. I know what he's saying. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely have been there because I was saying, well, my the court,
Mm-hmm.
the parents, anybody that you could see as a parental figure, as for me being under 18, they're like, you have to do this. I said, fuck that. This sucks. They put me in that room no matter
Fuck
what,
this shit.
and
I'm
it was
out.
horrible. It did end up helping me, but it was very specific of a situation where I ended up caving, and it did help. But I get what Halo's saying. That never, rarely ever, I should add, rarely ever happens
Yeah.
to the point where it actually helps, especially when you're being forced. But if you are struggling in any way, shape, or form with anything at all, whether it be depression, whether it be anxiety, whether it be just like literally anything you can think of,
Mm-hmm.
relationship problems, anything, you really should not shy away from seeing a therapist. There's no
Well,
shame in that at
there's
all.
not, and there's also no
I was
shame.
forced to see it and it didn't help me immediately, but I ended
Mm-hmm.
up going and doing that myself, and then it did help.
Mm-hmm.
So like what I'm trying to say really is anybody who is struggling with any kind of
Really,
decisions they have to
anything.
make where they
Yeah.
just really don't feel like they're comfortable with making by themselves, it did help.
Yeah.
And I encourage anybody that should have to think about it at all to
Yeah.
really go and do that.
Yeah.
Because it did help me a lot. But it took a lot of growth for me to actually see that it did help.
Yeah. Well, and
That makes sense.
Halo just said that, right? Sometimes, yeah, I just need a push from the right person. And I agree with that. Because as much as, and I completely agree, Lancery, that you shouldn't shy away, you know, see it as a weakness that you go and look out or look for a therapist. But in the meantime, too, there's no shame in leaning on your friends either. There's no, you know,
You need to
I
find somebody you
know
really, really trust.
you do. And
That's the
I
hardest
know
part.
it is. And I understand that. And like having been, you know, lived my life as I've lived it, I get that. And I think that's why for a lot of people, I try to, and why they fall in love with me is I'm joking. I try to, though, be there for them. Like, even if it's just people that I know online, I've never met them in person, I still really truthfully do want them to be happy. I don't think no one's inherently a bad person. No one is. If you reach out to friends, you'll find out who actually cares. That's true, Halo. You really will, because, you know, you've got your fair weather friends, and then you've got your, you know, the friends through thick and thin type thing. And I agree with that. And there's, I don't know. There's no shame though in reaching out to
I know
friends.
what you're saying.
And
Sometimes you get the friends that'll just be like, oh, okay,
that
that
sucks.
Oh, darn it. Oh,
Thanks,
dang it.
bye. Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
awful. Bye. Yeah, that's a very shallow. It's about
You get
like
your
being in a
vanilla
dry kiddie
responses.
pool in June for conversation.
You get your friends that are vanilla responses, and then you get people that will recommend you some help.
But on the other hand,
Those are the friends
too,
that care.
like it, your friends should recognize when you're down, but also reaching out is important too, I think. I know sometimes when we get in our deep darks, it's hard to get to that you're comfortable to reach out because you feel like you're just going to drag them down, you're going to be a burden on them. And realistically, for like Halo said, for the ones who actually care, you're not. You know, it's more, I think it's more for the ones who actually care. I think it's more of a burden that you're not talking about your issues with them. Because on the other hand, too, you cannot expect your friends to fix your problem. They will be there to listen. Good friends, they'll be there to offer advice, which is what, you know, I try to do here. All that fun stuff. But I'm not, no one, your friends, anyone's not Bartholomew. No one's going to fix your problems. That's a journey that you have to take on your own, but it's a journey that you can take not by yourself.
If you are not willing to actually take that step to go and trying to find help, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's not, because it's not,
you're not willing to do it.
Yeah, and it's not fair to your friends. Well, you didn't notice that I was depressed. A lot of people that are depressed, you know, mask and stuff. You know, excuse me, Bartholomew, I'm sorry. You know, you put on a front whether you realize it or not. It's good when you have a person to just vent to, and it is good to have a person to just vent to. Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot from what I've witnessed online from talking to people and stuff,
health is just
it's
unfortunately it's not a topic that anybody is willing to talk about ever.
I am.
That's
I'll talk about anything.
Yeah, but that makes two of us.
Yeah.
It's really a giant problem that people think that's just a huge
Well, and I think too
inconvenience to their friends and just they're in their own head. They're not actually upset about anything.
Yeah.
Like when you go through something, whether it be a breakup, whether it be a death of a fucking parent, there's so many different levels of intensity between there. Depending on the person.
Right.
Like if you feel like you need to actually talk through that shit, you need to go through and talk that, you know?
Well, and the arrow...
No matter what somebody says.
The arrow that hurts me might not hurt you and vice versa, too. So it's not...
Exactly.
And I'm guilty of it sometimes when I'm in my deep darks, you know? I am guilty of, well... And here's the thing. When I'm in my deep dark, I really don't want anyone to understand what I'm feeling or going through, because that would mean you have to lose your entire family but one person. Like I don't want that to happen to anyone, you know. realistically. Like, that's terrible. And I wouldn't, I
But
don't
it
want,
happens,
I don't want,
unfortunately.
it does. But I don't want my friends to understand what I'm going through. They say they do. I know they don't, so it's,
Right.
hold on, my feet are stuck. Okay. Codathan, you've been kind of quiet. You got anything to add?
He's dead.
He is probably.
I am dead.
I just want to make sure you're in the conversation.
Yeah, no, it's just that I agree with pretty much everything that's being said right now, so I'm just kind of listening and quietly agreeing.
That's all right. I just want to make sure you had an opportunity if you had anything to add or anything.
Oh yeah,
So-
no, I'm good for now. Yep.
You have feelings? Are you getting feelings?
It kind of takes me back to when I was in my darker headspace back when I was working at the Walmart, and I made a certain attempt on a certain activity and stuff, and then it. Oh.
It's okay. You don't have to share if you don't want to.
All right.
Yeah, you don't have to. You're not under any obligation. So. Everything in its own time. Me, I just blab about everything. So everything in every time. But, yeah. Yeah. I can safely say I could never do certain activities. I nearly fainted when they poked my wrist. Like, I'm not one that takes pain well, apparently. Now, giving pain. Not bad. Hi, R&B. And Halo's lurking now, so. He was my little emote. But yeah, no, I just, and not even like going to a therapist, but just talking and being open with how you're feeling in general, I think is something that is glossed over in society. Like, you're not allowed to be sad. You're not allowed to be anything but happy. And we kind of touched on that a little bit before too. It's not fair to us as humans. Like, that's not what we're designed for. That's not what a community does for each other. They don't go buck up, buckaroo to every little thing,
We're meant for two things: is breeding and emotion.
Did you know that an orca can process more emotions than a human being? And they have tighter bonds to their family and friends than even we do?
Believe it.
And then we ripped their children from the oceans and they had to watch.
God damn.
Just saying. I'll put them in my 2 orca sets. But yeah. What else is there to talk about on this topic? There's so much.
On this one, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Might have covered about 80% of it.
Right.
Maybe so.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a good time. What about you, studio audience? How do you guys feel? Do you feel like we're not necessarily helping, but like, is any advice that we're giving like maybe helpful or experiences or anything like that? Do you guys have anything you want to add? Okay, great. I feel like Dora the Explorer. Can you tell trauma? That's right. But no. Refrigerador. I don't know.
No, that's the bridge, you jackass.
Refrigerador's a refrigerator and zapatos is shoes. That's all I know. And Ingalls is English. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Ankles.
Yeah. Would you like Spanish or Ingalls? I'm a jerk.
Don't say that, because I can do both. I don't want to do both.
Right. Sorry about the no music for the background. It's driving me nuts. No, like Twitch is like, you don't have rights to this. I'm like, I bought it. Okay. So I gotta talk to them, but that's okay. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I really like these After Darks with Purge. I do enjoy them. I do enjoy talking to everyone. It's a good time, I think. I enjoy
Yeah.
myself. Sometimes it can get depressing, but like,
And you caught me here for 4 hours.
you're welcome.
I wasn't complaining.
um,
I
but
like
no,
talk shows.
yeah. And it's interesting to, hear other people's point of views, perspectives, and things like that, rather than me just talk about my own experiences. Hearing, you guys talk about your experiences and stuff, because everyone's different, and that's good. That's okay. You don't have to be like everyone else, my little sunshines. You really
Similarity
don't.
is boring.
It is. It's nice to have some similarities because you want to have that kind of camaraderie, I think. But you have to also celebrate your individuality and your differences as well.
Similarities, I would say connections.
Yeah, but to
Connecting
have
with people is okay, but like even each connection that you have with somebody is different.
it
That
is.
makes sense.
It does.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah. But also, now here's a question. If we're going to talk about that, do you think it's appropriate to, let's say, chameleon yourself around certain folks? So kind of like what I guess to akin it to something familiar like you were doing in high school, where you kind of be like this way to hang out with the jocks, let's say, and this way to hang out with the other group and cliques and stuff like that. Do you think that that's good, or should you continually just be yourself? Obviously, there's a difference between like work and like personal relationships.
It worked for me, but it was unhealthy
Yeah.
because I wasn't being who I actually was. I was just trying to fit in because I moved to a different school and I was afraid of being the loser. Um, which I wouldn't say I was like popular or whatever at my last school before that, but I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I had my space, I had my spot in
Mm-hmm.
school, and like I had my friends and whatever. But when I moved to the new school, I said, whoever comes up to me and wants to be my friend for whatever reason, I thought that I was gonna be that, and I was. I mean, like now I I'm glad I was because now I like sports.
Like
I
balls.
like D&D. I like whatever like you can possibly think of as a clique as
Mm-hmm.
or whatever some like interest might be as far as a high school group. I loved it. I do still. I can do. I have so many hobbies,
Mm-hmm.
and I would not change what I did. But I would say that it was a little unhealthy because I was juggling so many different relationships and friendships, and I
But
was
do
trying
you
to fit in
continue do
so
you
hard that it was terrible
do you
for me in high
continue that
school.
behavior now?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't. Now I am very comfortable with who I am, and if I cut off a lot of friends, especially from high school,
Same.
where if they just like don't really see it or whatever, that's fine. I don't care at all.
I agree,
Um,
Halo.
so like if people don't like the same music, cars, like whatever hobby it might be, which I have, like I said, I developed a lot of different hobbies in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So like if anybody doesn't really seem like they want to dig in that path, that's fine. I don't care. I have a lot of different friends from different hobbies and groups and whatever. If they don't like that, that's fine. But I do, and I'm not gonna change who I am. And yeah, now I don't regret it at all because now I just have so many different.
I guess,
Like I love who I am, as what I like to say.
yeah.
I guess.
What I was mostly asking for was for like current relationships and things like that, since I don't remember how I came about the question. Halo says that it's good being able to mesh with everyone, but should always be true to yourself, and I agree with that completely.
I
Like I
agree
feel
with
like I fit in with quite a few different groups and stuff, maybe not the sport people, but I like soccer. um but like I've come to not change who I am and articulate myself. I have other ways I articulate myself in certain groups. I'm trying to get past that. It's a whole identity crisis issue that I'm working on, but it's not related to like hobbies and things like that, I'd say. Coda, do you have anything to add? Say?
Oh. So building on what Halo was saying about like it's good to mesh with everyone. Definite good point. It's very important to know the difference between just getting along with different types of people and like just kind of being able to mingle in different groups, I suppose, and then just like completely like shifting your personality specifically to get along with those people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with
Because
that.
like if you keep doing that just to get along with people or to like I know one person that would do that just to make sure they always had like a relationship. They were never single. They would just become whatever person that they felt they needed to be to get into a relationship with somebody.
There's only one person I do that for. Whatever he needs me to be. It's all right.
No, but I get that though because I try to be a person for everyone.
Being a person's good rather than being a plant, for sure.
Also true.
It's hard to explain. It really
Well,
is.
the problem with it now is so like this person I'm referring to has been doing this for several years, like most of their life basically.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's at the point where I'm not convinced this person has an actual like personality of their own.
It's just a conglomerate of lies type thing, would you say?
It's like being a social chameleon is
their personality
trait, and that's all they've got because they never developed on their own.
Yeah,
that's
I'd
fair.
say there's nothing wrong with being like making connections with everyone you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that you know, there's nothing wrong with making connections.
But changing your personality so drastically to make them your friend is okay.
When it gets
and that's kind of what I was
you're
going
just,
for.
Like, denying yourself, essentially.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was going
then
for.
it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I find it healthy to make a connection with almost everyone that you know. Obviously, there's some parts where like you'll meet somebody that is just way off the fucking line, and you'll be like, no, let's just not even try it.
Yeah,
which I see quite often.
Yeah.
But you should try to, make a connection with everybody that you know, unless, like I said, unless you get to that point where like no, but you should always have that core person that you are.
Yeah.
Keep that.
I agree with that. I also think it's fair too to say that because some people will, like let's say you just started your new job, and they're like, yeah, I'm your trainer, and hey, I gotta tell you, stay away from fucking Sarah. Like, oh my fucking god, like or whoever, or Karen, yeah. So there's a rumor mill already of this person, and oh, she's just a bitch. I don't think it's fair to have a judgment on someone simply based on others' experiences. Like, you need to meet that person and have your own opinion of them, not based on what you've heard. Because maybe the real bitch is the one telling you so,
Right.
or what. Quit farting!
Fine. I didn't know you could hear.
Dear fucking, my nose is dying, okay? Fucking rip it off, let's have a funeral. I'm gonna... Buster has sleepy farts and it fucking pisses me off. No, he's a little fucking angel. Oh, I love him. Hi! I don't know why I did that. So... For my nose!
I don't even have to hear it. I just saw it and I was like, oh, that's gonna kick in like 4 seconds.
Godspeed, nose. I fucking love that flute. My blue eyes!
Make sure that was actually true.
Lovely.
I was supposed to go to bed like 2.5 hours ago, but
that's how long I've been streaming for.
yeah.
Well, you're not obligated to stay. I know it's riveting good fun.
But here I am.
I know. Well, you have to work tomorrow, don't you? You said.
Yeah.
Fame.
That's okay.
I can touch the tip of my nose with my tongue.
Yeah,
I just learned that. Thank you. I know. I have a very nice tongue. You ever wish you just shut the fuck up one sentence before?
Yeah.
No! Let me stop you right there, okay? So, this is what happened. This is what.
Well, that could have gone better.
Yeah, this is what happened fucking Tuesday. So, I'm at Ruby Tuesdays, okay? I'm ordering my food. I struggled the entire time picking out a fucking tray. I decided to get a hamburger. They offer you either French fries or like tater tots, right? Tater tots, you know, fucking potatoes, right?
Yeah.
The gentleman goes, "Would you like French fries or tater tots?" And I said, "Ah, French me." Fully meaning French fries! And I'm like, I didn't even blush. I'm just staring off into the fucking thing like,
Oh.
just same thing as my fucking meat curtain thing. God.
Oh, come on. Wait, what? I gotta hear this one.
Alright, so I was playing Lucius, you know, where you're like, I'm Satan's child! I found out that my mom's underwear, like I could pick it up. And it kind of sniffed out where I was supposed to go. So I'm like, let's go, mom's underpants. Sniff around, boy. Well, there's a butcher shop in the mansion, apparently. And there's these hog things hanging, you know, as you do in a butcher shop.
On the hooks, yeah.
On the hooks. And they have physics. So they're flopping around as I'm running under. And I'm like, look, meat curtains.
No.
Chat had to tell me exactly why what I was saying was so inappropriate.
And on that note,
Ace is the place for the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the place where I'm scared today.
No, some days.
This is the place with the creepy meat curtain, folks.
I better go get the tea. Ow. Thanks, Acias. I tell ya. It tells you. All right. Are you going to leave, Lancery? Did he die? Oh! Scared his mom picked me up. Hmm. Love it.
But yeah, so no, in all honesty, I do need to go to bed.
All right. Well, thank you for joining.
Hey.
Appreciate.
I'm always here for talk shows. Just let me know.
Usually, so stream schedule is Mondays I stream Yu-Gi-Oh at 7, and then I don't stream Tuesdays. I stream Wednesday, Thursday, both at 7, and then Saturday I stream with now just Codithan for now, at 10, and then Friday is After Dark with Purge if I decide to do it. It's not anything that's set in stone. That's the only thing I have that I don't set in stone. Just because some of the topics we do talk about can get kind of heavy, and doing it repeatedly every week, I don't want to keep because I try to put a lot of thought into these and like what I want to talk about. And with this one especially, like I had been pretty excited about it. But I don't want to like put that pressure on myself every week necessarily. So
Fair enough.
yeah. They're just kind of random, but they will always be at midnight.
You have my number in my messenger, so if you need something,
I do.
need a co-guest, if I'm available, I will.
Okay. I'll probably honestly just let people. I won't. Excuse me. Obviously, not a plethora of people at a time, but you know, a decent group like this and stuff, as long as everyone's respectful and whatnot, is perfectly fine. So.
You know, I got peeps too.
I know. Now you have the Discord, so there we go.
Yo, Codes, it was good to see you, buddy.
It's good to see you, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, oh, you know what? Next time I'll bring Caleb in here.
I actually haven't heard from him in a long time.
Oh
either.
yeah, me
He
too.
just stopped messaging me.
Same.
Dude, that guy has been so fucking busy.
I can imagine, you know, he was always such a hard worker.
Okay.
Well,
I have no idea who this is.
it's a talk show and a half, so.
Child!
guys.
Quit playing in my trash! Bye!
Bye.
Thanks for joining!
Ye-
And then there were two.
Caleb's a good dude. I just haven't heard from him in forever, and I honestly have like next to no idea what he's up to now, except he just got engaged as well.
So when I was engaged, I put a picture of a Captain Picard, and he's like this, and it says engage.
Ah.
Yeah, I'll never get to use that photo again. But yeah. So, these topics are pretty hot and heavy today.
It got deep.
I did. I don't know if you're here for the beginning, but yeah, it's a good time. I still don't know how I can make this start with C. In all of these two, just so everyone's aware, I do upload them to YouTube as well. Usually the Friday after I air them here. So just that way, you know, because we talk about a lot of different stuff, and sometimes people may not be experiencing something rough now, but maybe down the road they will, and
it'd be nice to have these to look back on.
Yep, you know, look back on like, you know, it's not all bad, blah blah blah, or whatever it could be. Yes, it'll be on YouTube. Don't worry, no one watches the channel. It's literally just air, so it's good.
I stopped with my YouTube. I got so tired of like editing and going through all the work of putting
I
in,
don't-
like, new extra jokes and stuff, and then
I don't edit. I pretty much just take Twitch VODs and put them on there and cut out the starting soon and then just let them go. So that's, yeah.
I got into editing for a while because like I said, it gave me a chance to slip in extra jokes. So like,
Yeah.
if I'm watching over the video on my own and then I see, like, maybe if I, like, for example, in the Phasmo video I made with Lance and Caleb and Tim, there was one bit where the ghost surprised me in the basement, and so I paused it on that frame where the ghost popped up, and then I zoomed in and I put in the Obi-Wan Kenobi audio.
Nice.
It was just like, hello there, and then I died.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah, it was a good video and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish Caleb had time to play more games.
Aw.
He's a fun dude. He's fun to hang out with.
Yeah. It's good to meet people like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else? I don't know. We talked about a lot. A lot.
Oh yeah.
Talked about a lot of heavy topics. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Work went okay today. I was just kind of goofing off on some Elden Ring to pass time when I saw that you were live and I came in to say hi.
Aw.
And now here we are.
And here we are. And here we'll be tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are we playing tomorrow? I don't think we talked about it yet.
Man, I wish I had a fart sound effect. Because that's all I got. Wait.
We interrupt this program. Bring this.
Oh, I don't know how to work anything. There.
I was also working in Equality's stream earlier today, and I was saying I want to put in more channel point rewards for impressions. I think I want to start doing more voice stuff.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really neat.
So I'll put in ones for like
I should make your Gengar emote sometime soon.
Elmo, for example.
No.
Ah.
I hate Elmo.
Oh, okay.
I just
Maybe I'll leave that
No, you can do it. I'm not that traumatized, you're good.
one. We've already got Carl Weezer in there. If I
Does anyone have
So
any
back to
suggestions for
Peter
codes? Let's get some examples. Maybe we can get some input from our little friends down below.
I gotta figure out which voices I can actually do well at the same time, so it's not like,
That's fair.
oh, this person spent 1,000 points to hear me half-ass a really bad accent.
Bitch.
That's all I got.
Nice.
Thanks. That was deep.
I could do a Batman
Oh.
voice thing.
Where are they? Oh,
10
God.
10
I'm
minutes
scaring
in Batman voice.
myself. Ugh. That would hurt your esophagus. Don't let your epiglottis fail you.
Ooh, you know what? You got a point there.
I know.
When I had to do it for Walmart,
'cause I'm
it was
sharp.
pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, certain parties would disagree because they love to hear it, but
Yeah, that's actually a fair point. Let's hear a little snippet of Batman.
where are the other drugs going?
Up my ass. No, my butt. Ah.
Where's Rachel?
Your princess is in another castle.
Your princess is in another castle, Riddler.
I have no princess. I'm not good at voices.
Who the fuck is in that castle?
Fuck, Alfred!
That reminds me. I don't remember if I told you about it already, or if it's even something you'll be interested in. But I heard the new Batman movie is supposed to be hitting up HBO Max in a few days.
I've seen it. I have no idea what it's about. I just know there's a new Batman movie because it's red and black. I'd probably watch it.
I've been a huge Batman fan for quite a while, so I'm anxious to see it. I just haven't gotten to see it. I did get to go see.
I like the one with Mr. Freeze as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh man, yeah, my dad used to love that one.
That's my favorite. Well, it's not my
There's
favorite. But...
There's one scene in that movie where if you watch closely enough, it becomes completely obvious that they just played the clip forward and then backward, so it looked like Robin was like continuously drowning.
Oh yeah. My favorite was when they burst through the window and it just makes like the bat symbol. And like as a kid I'm like, that's so fucking cool. And then like as I got older I'm like, what in the fucking Swiss cheese is this?
I think a lot about all the ice puns as well.
Oh, I know, me too.
Everyone,
freeze! No. Yeah.
Blasting everyone. No provocation. That's just his opening line. Just
I love him. I love him. I love him so much. But yeah. Bartholomew, quit being a psychopath.
That's cats.
Yeah, sure shit is, isn't it? Nah, he's a good kid usually. He's playing with the shrimpy. He's getting into my trash. I'm a trash panda. Anyway. What's realistically, I think I talked about everything that I realistically kind of wanted to touch on. Got a bit sidetracked, which is fine. I have no problem with that. I'm glad we had a decent turnout today. I hope everyone.
Yeah, this was a nice stream overall. I'm glad I got to come in.
Me too. And of course, like I said, like for everyone that's just watching, Discord is open if you guys want to join and kind of stay up to date and stuff. But if you just want to join so you can chat with us or me specifically, that's completely fine as well. Just remember, you gotta be respectful.
Oh man, I'm eventually gonna have to make a Discord too. I hadn't thought about that, but now that the channel is starting to actually like see some solid growth, it might be actually viable to make one now.
I know I have a goal for myself. I don't remember what I set it at. Bartholomew, I'm gonna beat your tiny little kitty bottom. I'm not gonna change scenes, but I have a goal for followers. I think it's 120 or 130. I think right now we've got 109. So 109. Because I got Glorious Bowser followed like really what I started. They found the Twitter and stuff, so I appreciate that. Appreciate every follow.
I'm thinking if I can get up to like maybe like somewhere in like the 130 to 150 realm, I think that's when I'll decide to start working on a Discord. We're at 103 today.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yay!
A couple of people from Equality Stream did me a kindness and
Aw, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Tommy's playing with the bottom of my chair and it's driving me insane, but that's fine. And Halo says it's been awesome, and I'm glad. I'm really glad.
It has.
I
It has
know.
been awesome. I agree.
I think it's interesting too to like, because I know me and Halo were friends from. I don't know. I think when I first started going to kindergarten, to like. For a while.
I think I've only got like one friend left from that far back. Like
He
back in,
was
like, the
he was
kindergarten
pretty
phase
much
or
my
whatever.
first friend. Well, he was the neighbor kid. Like there was no one else
I see.
around,
Yeah, I
and
get that.
we
I
had
mean,
fun.
my neighbors
He had a
have never been
trampoline.
decent, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, no, he was a good kid. Obviously, I was 4 years his junior. Wee little ones, yeah. Yeah. Child, I'm gonna beat you with a bat, but not really. Like a stuffed bat, and then he'll just take it and play with it, so what's the point?
I don't know. I only have one friend left from that time period in my life, and I just call her my sister now.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been through our fair share of troubles. There's another person that moved in, and boy, oh boy. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time. Just kids, you know. But no, it's good.
See what on the Steam library could we check out for tomorrow?
Good question.
I don't know if you'd be interested in the Phasmo's Easter egg update.
Yeah,
The Easter egg.
that's fine. We can do Faz if you want again.
Well, it's not like a big update, but like they changed how some of the maps are like arranged, and then they put Easter eggs in every map for a few days. There's
That's
like
cool.
30 some odd eggs in
That's
Tanglewood, for example.
cool. That's amazing. We could go Easter
And
egg
if
hunting.
you find them all, everyone's sanity goes all the way back up to 100. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's really
also
neat.
a lot of eggs.
Right. That's 30 eggs is a lot. That's a lot of closet.
Yeah.
Well,
They're basically just working on tweaking the maps a lot right now to fix like how many hiding spots we get, so it's more fair. And
that's fair. I'm gonna end this stream and then we can kind of talk about what we want to game tomorrow too. So,
okay.
Thank you everyone so much for coming. I really appreciate it. And the follows, and I know R&B says, what? My credits! And boom. Credits! Roll credits! You did! Look at that. Special thing. I like how, like, thank you for the support is so fucking quiet. We got Streamlabs, doesn't matter, and Codathan, of course, as always, as the mod. Got Glorious Bowser as a follower. Thank you very much. Preach. And subscriblers and resubscriblers, R&B Pikachu. Catch you on the flip side, Halo. I hope you have a wonderful... I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a good Easter if you celebrate it. If not, I hope you have a good Sunday and a good week. I'm sure I'll see you in a future stream, but it's always good to see you. It's always good to see everyone. Even if you didn't talk or say much, I appreciate you being here, so thank you. Thank you for joining me in these times. It's good. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you get something out of them. I don't do them just to complain. I do them so that, you know you're not alone in the universe. You know? It's important. If you ever feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, since we talked about this, you can always reach out to old Purge. I'll listen. You're not a burden, I promise. Okay? So you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
Bye, guys.